The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is the setting for this afternoon's main feature in Match Day on BBC Radio Suffolk. We'll hear from former Ipswich Town captain Mick Mills in a moment after your commentator Brenna Woolley.
Perhaps surprisingly, Tottenham were one of only two sides that Town doubled the last time they were in the Premier League, albeit the North London meeting in December 2001. Wasn't it this wonderful five-year-old stadium of theirs? White Hart Lane is long gone, and wow, what a place this is. Holding almost 63,000 fans, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium's the biggest club ground in the capital, as well as football. It's hosted NFL, boxing and rugby. It really is breathtaking. It's a special afternoon this for Ipswich boss Kieran McKenna. Back at the club he played for as a kid before injury turned his focus towards coaching. How fitting would it be if we to secure his first ever top-flight victory where it all began for him. Whatever happens, let's just hope the outcome's settled by the 22 players out there and no external factors. I think it's safe to say you know exactly what I'm talking about. So Mick Mills, what chance an away victory here this afternoon do you feel?
Well, I think the victory will come. I think we've just got to be patient. We're obviously finding it very difficult at this level, as most of us expected, you know, but we have sort of come very, very close. Whether it's going to be today, I'm not so sure, because I think that Tottenham are a decent side. They probably haven't got as many points as perhaps they should have done this season, but this is going to be difficult. It's just one of those that to enjoy, I mean, to play in this stadium must be absolutely fantastic for any player, and for our manager Kieran McKenna to come back here. That's a fabulous story, it really is. You know, the way he must have been heartbroken to have had his playing career taken away from him, and then for him to sort of develop as a coach at this club, and then to come back and get a nice win would be absolutely marvellous for him as a person. So this is going to be a great occasion, it really is.
Real warmth there between the two captains, Young Sun Min and also Sam Morsey, just before the two sets of players came down the tunnel. Town for the first time wearing their all-pink third kit here this afternoon against the traditional white shirts, navy shorts and white socks of Tottenham Hotspur. Of course, there will be, because it's Remembrance Sunday, a minute's silence in the last post ahead of kick-off. For the moment, though, the two sets of players straddling the halfway line down below us here at this magnificent stadium in North London. Two changes from the controversial draw with Leicester last time out. Calvin Phillips serves a one-game ban, so he can feature against Manchester United at Portman Road in a fortnight. Connor Chaplin drops to the bench. In comes Axel Tuanzebe, back earlier than we expected after that awful thumb injury. He's missed the last four, hasn't featured since the draw with Aston Villa. And Jens Kajusti, who we heard from earlier on BBC Radio Suffolk, he comes into the midfield for Phillips. Muric is the goalkeeper. Potentially a back three of Tuanzebe, O'Shea and Burgess, with the wing-backs Johnson and Davis. In between them, Morsey, the captain, and Kajusti. And then a front three of Hutchinson and Smodic supporting Delap. On the bench, Walton, Chaplin, Hurst, Burns, the two Clarks, Harry and Jack. Harry back after a ban of his own. Luongo, Townsend, Wolfend, and no Nathan Broadhead at all in the 20. And no changes for Tottenham, which is a big relief for them from the 4-1 win over Aston Villa here last weekend. They then lost 3-2 with a much changed side at Galatasaray in the Europa League on Thursday. So Vicario is in goal. The back four, Porro, Romero, who's been a big injury. That's a big boost to them without their number one choice centre Van der Ven. He's certainly out for a little while, the Dutchman. Romero's also one that was question marks over ahead of this game. So Romero keeps his place alongside Dragusin. Udogi is the left back. In midfield, the three, Kulusevski, Bentancur and Sarr. Solanke will lead the line with Johnson probably off to his right-hand side and Son, the captain, off to his left. On the bench, Forster, Spence, Davis, Gray, Basuma, Bergval, Maddison, Werner and Lancashire. So what do you make of the change for Ipswich Town, and the likely change, the tweak to the system? Mick, was it inevitable that Kieran McKenna had to try something?
Yeah, well, I just, you know, when you sort of take stock around about this stage of the season, and if there are one or two things that you've got to look at, the one thing we've got to look at is the lack of points that we're putting on the board. So it makes you wonder whether we've come up the divisions, we've played one way and one way only, and maybe we're just a little bit too open to take on the quality that we're now taking on. So it doesn't surprise me that Kieran has decided to just go with an extra defender, you know, and push You know, Leif Davis, we know Leif Davis just goes whether he's in the back four or back five, but it gives Ben Johnson on the other side an opportunity to forget a little bit about what's behind him and focus on what's ahead of him, knowing that between the two wing backs you've got the security of three centre backs. So I'm not at all surprised that we've made a change.
Poppy wreath's been laid in the centre of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The last post will be played by retired Corporal Andrew Loftus from the RAF. The two sets of players are around at the centre circle here, the yellow ball on the spot.
We shall now observe a period of silence during which the last post will be played by retired Corporal Andrew Loftus. This period of silence will start and end on the referee's whistle. Please remain silent until you've heard the referee's second whistle.
Football pays its respects to those who've lost their lives in armed conflict. We're about to get underway here on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. First of back-to-back Sunday games for Ipswich Town. Of course, there's another one on the horizon off the back of Manchester United at Portman Road in a couple of weeks' time when Bournemouth come to Suffolk. Ipswich Town then in all pink, aside from Aru Muric in his yellow kit, occupying the half of the field off to our left-hand side. Playing away from their supporters, a fair few thousand Ipswich Town fans are in the far corner of the ground. Stadium holds around about 62,850 people. It is the biggest club ground in the capital. That gigantic south stand off to our right-hand side, the biggest one-tier stand in the UK, holds about 17,500, with the golden cockerel visible up there in the rather grey North London sky. Tottenham are ready to get this game underway. It's Dominic Solanke, former Chelsea, Liverpool and Bournemouth striker. Already 6 goals this season for his new club Tottenham Hotspur, including one in Istanbul. Clever little flick finish on Thursday night. And he's the man hovering over the yellow ball as Ipswich Town break away from their pre-match huddle. The referee, Darren England, who did the Watford win away last December in the Championship, is the man with the whistle, and he gets this Premier League game, game 11 for both these sides, underway. It was game 11 last season when Sheffield United finally got off the mark. Let's see what Ipswich Town can do here over the course of the next 90 minutes. Here's Son giving the ball back to the right side as centre-half, the injured Argentinian Romero. Both he and Porro, the right-back, linked with Real Madrid in recent days. That's the gossip around. Dragusin to Son up towards Solanke. Tottenham progressing play to the edge of the Ipswich area, then rolls into the box. Across will come Burgess to clear his lines smartly, out for a throw-in to the ponytailed Udogi, the Italian international left-back for Tottenham. Udogi has the ball above his head. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Town's final game before the last international break of the year, as Kulusevski, the Swede, back to goal, goes down to ground, outnumbered. Kayusti comes away with the ball for Ipswich Town, plays it back to Johnson on this right-hand side, infield to Smodic. Smodic's long downfield, headed out by Dragusin. Not quite, he's going to then challenge Hutchinson. Hutchinson gets the better of Dragusin. Well played by Amari Hutchinson. Ipswich Town's first attack, low ball into the box, might now be a chance for Smodic inside the area, carries it on, still Smodic has the ball. His effort towards the near post is smuggled out by Vicario. First effort on goal by Town inside 90 seconds.
Yeah, that was superb. A beautiful early ball forward, made it all possible there. It's amazing, really, because a lot of people that we've spoken to are Tottenham connected, said one thing's for sure: you'll score the first goal today. And I was thinking then we might well do.
Do tend to concede first here. Tottenham, 12 of their last 14 league games, the opposition has taken the lead. They fought back ever so well, though, in most of those to get a result. Davis with an early corner kick in, it comes headed towards goal, and it was goalward bound, but it's come off a player in there. Ultimately, sadly, says the referee, an Ipswich Town man, so it's a goal kick. It seemed to be O'Shea who got a good head on that one. Now maybe a chance for Delap, not quite. Across will come the defender. Romero put his body in the way, trying to win the foul off Delap, which he's successfully done.
Yeah, we were unlucky from that corner kick. The header actually sort of was directed into the 6-yard box, and when you do that, literally anything can happen. It can ricochet off a defender, it can fall nicely for an attacker. That was an opportunity, really.
Crossfield ball by Tottenham, controlled by Udogie near side, on towards Son. Son with the overlapping Udogie. Good play down the left-hand side, this by Spurs. Udogie held up by Johnson just outside the Ipswich area. Back to his captain. Son knocks a dangerous ball in. Oh, it's just past the post. Was that Porro who was running in there? No, it was Brennan Johnson who got the final touch. That was close to an opening goal for Tottenham.
Well, it was a beautiful ball in, wasn't it? And it was a tremendous run right from the right-hand side by Brennan Johnson. I mean, he is a dangerous player. He loves to get into the penalty area. He got a touch to it, and to be perfectly honest, I thought it was going in. So that was the first real chance, actually, to Tottenham. So
he's in good form as well at the moment. 4 in his last 6 Premier League games, Brennan Johnson. Tottenham career has really belatedly taken flight in recent times. Headed to the halfway line by Bentancur, the Uruguayan midfielder. There is Sarr, the Senegalese, to Porro. Porro forward early, looking for Solanke. Muric, though, hoovers up on the edge of his penalty area. Burgess just almost runs into him as Muric bounces the ball once inside his penalty box in the 4th minute of this game. Wins yesterday for Brentford, Fulham, Wolves, big win for them, Brighton and Liverpool. Liverpool now 5 points clear at the top of the table after that defeat for Manchester City yesterday at Brighton. Brighton coming back to get all 3 points on the south coast. There is Porro to Solanke, linking up with Johnson. Kulusevski has the ball. Tottenham now in the centre of the park with Sarr. Any athleticism in midfield. He's carried it to the edge of the area. Udogie now has it in right back berth outside the Ipswich box. Back to Sarr, the number 29. He bounces off Son. Bentancur keeping things ticking over. Porro back to Romero. Romero, World Cup winner with Argentina. Now Sarr. Come on, you Spurs, as the boisterous backing of the home crowd. Dragusin, who only arrived in January, plays it to Porro. Dragusin into midfield and Sarr. Tottenham seen a lot of the ball, but it's still inside their half of the field, so that's fine. Now with Romero. Back it goes to Dragusin. The Romanians getting a run of games because of that injury to Van der Ven. Oh, and then Udogie's taken a smack in the face off of Johnson accidentally. The referee said play on. Udogie's up on one knee. He's fine to continue. Romero with possession, up towards Son. Son moves it on to Kulusevski. Now Solanke, edge of the area, still Solanke. He's got it inside the box, right of centre, can't shoot. Gives it to Johnson. Johnson gives it back to Porro. Good pressure this from Tottenham, but Town standing strong, in shape, disciplined off to our left-hand side. Now the ball's back in the centre circle. Spurs moving around nicely. Udogie again, challenged by Johnson, under pressure. He goes back to Udogie. And Postecoglou, the Australian, on the edge of his gigantic technical area down below us, just having a point in his 2nd season in charge here. Made that bold claim a few weeks ago that always wins a trophy in his 2nd season. Well, it's now 16, going on for 17 years since Tottenham last did win silverware. It's only 5 years since they reached the Champions League final. Finished 5th last season. Ball forward from Dragusin, trying to get Kulusevski away. It favours Twanzebe. He's taken a touch of it. Then he turns and clears down the line. Dragusin is there first. He lifts it up in the air. Kulusevski will get on the ball, takes it high in his chest, lifts it over the top of Tuanzebe. A lot of Town defenders back, cleared only partially as far as Sarr. Still Tottenham with plenty possession. Porro to Johnson. Johnson tries to give it back to Porro, cleared by Davis, out for a throw.
Well, there's a passage of very sort of patient play by Tottenham, but very disciplined play by Town, you know, and it really hasn't come to anything. A lot of possession, but not really penetrating at all. So a lot of discipline shown by Ipswich.
Here in his purple kit is Vicario, the goalkeeper, his second season at Tottenham. There is Sarr, gone back towards Dragusin. Now on the edge of his area, it's Vicario again. Town forcing Tottenham back into their final third. Porro on from Bentancur, loose from him though. Leif Davis gets on the ball. Town have a chance to have a little bit of possession with Morsey in the centre of the field, gives it to Delap, back towards Morsey up to Hutchinson, then involved as Kiyusti. Good play this from Town. Smodics has Kiyusti on the overlap, wide left outside the Tottenham box, tries to dribble it into the area. Kiyusti still has it, goes to the byline, then a pull-back chance for Hutchinson, taken away from by Dragusin. Excellent work from the visitors there though. Tottenham pushed back. Ipswich attack again. Smodics with a step over down the left-hand side. In comes his cross to the centre for Johnson, who Doggy has to head it out behind. Would have fancied Johnson to head that into the net. Another corner Ipswich.
Yeah, that's super play. We hadn't seen a lot of the ball, and then all of a sudden we got possession of the ball, and then initially Caduce down that left-hand side, producing a terrific little bit of a run on with the ball. You know, he got himself into a great position, and then it was picked up by Smodics, who also did some very good work and stood up a lovely ball onto the back post. It's been a couple of nice attacks from Town.
Lots of possession for Tottenham, but that was very nice from Ipswich. They've deserved this corner kick. What can they do with it? In the 9th minute, Tottenham have everybody back defending. It's Leif Davis to curl it in towards the far stick, headed towards the goal line, headed against the bar in the end. Town inches away from an opening goal. It was Cameron Burgess. Now Tottenham on the counter-attack. This could be ominous. Son up to the edge of the area, into the middle it goes, just away from Kulusevski, but he will get on the ball. Still alive inside the Ipswich area. Kulusevski's early cross hits a player, then is volleyed over the bar by Johnson.
Well, it was on to take a short corner kick from Town. We decided not to. The ball in was superb, and we got the header in, and it comes back off the crossbar. Terrific play by Town, and then there was a decent break by Tottenham, but it really sort of didn't come to anything in the end. But it was a bit of a threat carried from the counter-attack, but that was good from Town. We've had a couple of good attacks. We've now actually hit the crossbar, so one or two positive things coming out.
Last time Town were at Tottenham, it was a 2-1 win. It's Finidi George and Alan Armstrong. It's also 2-1 at Portman Road that season. Marcus Bent and John McGreal on target. Town actually looking for a 4th consecutive win over Tottenham, something they've never done before. Given away by Davis, seized upon there by Porro. Now wide on the right, it's a very lively Kulusevski. Has Porro overlapping, Kulusevski in field to Bentancur, 30 yards out, hits it against the backside of a Town player, then Solanke has a go at it. That's deflected up and over. Tottenham have their first corner.
Well, the initial shot wasn't a good one, but it sort of just came back off a Town player, and it fell lovely to the Tottenham player there, and he's actually forced a corner kick with his shot, but a little bit fortunate that they got into that position, really.
Kulusevski with this corner kick for Tottenham, their first after 10 minutes. All eyes on the penalty area off to our left-hand side. Still to see a goal in this Premier League encounter, and it comes from Kulusevski, headed away powerfully by Burgess, out as far as Udogie. Udogie on the half volley, sprays play to the left-hand side. Son way too good for Johnson. Clever play by Son, still Son inside the area. What a run! His shot is straight at Murrich, thankfully.
Well, that's a super ball. We cleared the ball well outside the penalty area. It's picked up by the Tottenham defender at the back there, and he picked out Son really, really well, and Son caused problems with that little dribble off the left-hand side.
Mick Mills alongside me at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's 9th versus 19th as far as the league table is concerned. Town the only team in the all 4 divisions, only 92 without a win after Wolves beat Southampton yesterday. Ipswich building on the halfway line. Smodics to Davis. Davis poor pass. Straight at Sarr rather than Hutchinson. Sarr stretching his legs, drifting away from Kayuste on the far side. Sarr has it down the right wing and then plays it to no one in particular. Straight out behind, goal kick to Aaron Muric.
Yeah, really strange ball. I mean, he's making a run down the right-hand touchline and there's really no forward run ahead of him, and he plays the ball as if there was one. I really don't quite know what he's seen, but the shape of the team is pretty good. We've got this back three, 2 wing backs and the 2 centre midfield players just ahead of them, but I'm just interested in Hutchinson's position and Smodic's position. It's obvious that they are allowed to go in close to Liam Delap if they want, but they also have to give width as well.
Tottenham have the ball with their goalkeeper Vicario, waits for Delap, gives it to the right hand side, almost given away by Tottenham. They've tried their best to make a mess of that, and sadly couldn't quite capitalise, but now strong play by Kayuste up against his fellow Swede Kulusevski. They'll know each other from the international setup. Eventually cleared away by Tottenham, lofted back forward by Tuanzebe into the hands of Vicario. Porro's just holding his right shoulder, wincing over on the far side. Been a top flight side now since 1978. Tottenham only spent 1 year outside the top flight since 1950. In fact, as actually former town manager John Duncan was their leading goal scorer when they got promoted at the end of the 77-78 season.
Yeah, another strange ball there, from the right back. He did what he saw, I don't know, but he's hit a long ball up the right touchline, and there was absolutely no Tottenham player anywhere near it, and it goes through a harmless throw into us. They're looking a little bit not quite on top of the game at Tottenham at the moment. I think we've done well to sort of just pose them 1 or 2 problems.
Tottenham have scored in first and 5 of their 10 games so far. Still 0-0. If you're joining us 13 minutes into this 1 o'clock kickoff in North London. Tricky little run of fixtures this for Town. Away trips to Tottenham and Nottingham Forest, with Manchester United and their new manager sandwiched in the middle. Dragosin spreads play to the right. Just crossing halfway far side is Romero. Cross goes Hutchinson. Ball comes in field to Bentancur. Town with Phillips and Chaplin out, Tuanzebe and Kayuste in. Tottenham unchanged from the Villa team a week ago. There is Son, and he's won a throw-in on this near side of the field next to a TV camera, and not a million miles away from Kieran McKenna either down below. Sanj Postecoglou full of praise for the job that Kieran McKenna has done in his time at Portman Road. There is Romero, pokes it forward to Porro, looking for throw Johnson in behind, comes off a Town player in midfield. Town in all pink, defending the end off to our left. Burgess into the path of Kayuste, who's drifting across to the left hand side of midfield, working alongside Smodic's into the middle, and O'Shea helping it on its way to Tuanzebe. No obvious strapping on either of his hands, Tuanzebe. So good to see him back. O'Shea to Muric in the box off to our left, gives it out towards Morsey. Took a bit of a chance there. Morsey did well to get it to O'Shea under pressure. Wow, that was risky. Infield from Tuanzebe. Morsey's on the ball, back it goes to O'Shea. He'll just belt it to the far side of the field. Davis shows an interest, but it should evade him and go out of play.
Yeah, that with Muric there, that's when you've got the situation. The manager says, but the player makes the decision for me. That I know they want to come out, that ball to Morsey, that central ball, but that was too risky. That's when the player should overrule the manager.
There is Dragosin. Thankfully, Town got away with it and we're still 0-0. 15 minutes gone on BBC Radio Suffolk. Tottenham with the bulk of the possession you'd expect. They lost the ball briefly in midfield, but Dragosin got it away from Hutchinson. Tottenham have a man down in front of us. It's Papsar, just holding his left leg. Play continues. He's going to be okay to get up and soldier on. There is midfield talent on the bench available to Tottenham. He's hobbling. He's not comfortable at the moment. The ball's still rolling. It's on the far side with Pedro Porro, a Sporting Lisbon player. He'll go back to Romero. James Maddison just sent out for a jog in case Sarr can't carry on, but seems to be all right anyway, if not fully 100%. Dragosin again to Romero. Here is Dragosin, the 22-year-old. Gives it to Sarr. Sarr short infield to Bentancur. Still the whites of Tottenham passing it around at the back. Here is Romero. Top scorers in the Premier League this season. Tottenham definitely carry a threat. Dragusin again goes back to Vicario. Neither keeper's had a great deal to do inside this 16.5 minutes. Up to the halfway line, Tottenham play it but lose it. Good challenge from O'Shea. Kiyusti comes away with the ball, gives it to Delap. Delap bursting forward for Ipswich, into the box to Smodic. Smodic tries to play it square. Might come to Leif Davis. It does. He shoots. Maybe a chance for Johnson. They're up in the air from Udogie. The ball's still high inside the Tottenham area. Touched away rather tamely, only as far as Burgess. Burgess gives it in field to O'Shea. Town certainly have a threat. Here is Sam Morsey, using his body to guard against Kulusevski getting the ball. Tuanzebe prods it down the line to Johnson. It's a new partnership on this near side. Certainly one we haven't seen since very early stages of this season. O'Shea to Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe up to Hutchinson. Ball comes back off of Dragusin to Ipswich Town. Here's Morsey. Morsey with a lofted switch of play to Leif Davis. The ball skips up off the green surface. He's now got it under control. Back he gives it to Kiyusti. Short and sharp to Morsey. Morsey square to Tuanzebe. Good bit of possession this from Town. Given away though. It's well intercepted by Udogie. Johnson's won it back against Son. It was a poor ball initially by Udogie. Son's upended free kick.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think that was a fair challenge. We're looking very disciplined and very compact when we haven't got the ball, and we're actually showing sort of a lot of sort of nerve to sort of use the... Well, as soon as we win the ball, we look as if we want to actually score and win the game. You know, our sort of response from doing a lot of defending is very good.
McKenna applauding and instructing. The TV camera's just zoomed on him here down below us as Vicario carries the ball into the D on the edge of his penalty area. 18 minutes gone. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, still 0-0 between these two sides. Porro bursting forward, held up by Smodic, gives the ball to Johnson on the far side. Johnson in field, bounces it off Porro. Johnson again, square now to Sarr, lets it run through his legs to Udogie. Town back and very compact behind the ball. Here is Sarr again, lifting it out to the right hand side, controlled by Porro. One-on-one with Leif Davis, wants to take him on, held up by Davis. Back it goes to Brennan Johnson, former Nottingham Forest player, played on loan for Lincoln against Ipswich a few years ago. In comes across, Solanke on the chest, buys himself some room, shoots, good save by Muric. Really smart stop down to his left hand side, the cost of him, well done.
Yeah, that's where it's very difficult for defenders nowadays. We've decided to play sort of an offside to get the first runner offside. We do that very successfully, but unfortunately there's a second runner who actually gets possession of the ball.
Swift play by Solanke. Good effort on goal, really smart save from Muric. Corner kick to Tottenham Hotspur, in from Kulusevski, headed away by Dara O'Shea. Brought down by Porro. Back it goes to Kulusevski, sets himself, left-footed, bends it in. Well taken by Muric, good goalkeeping. Kieran McKenna agitated about something. Muric out quickly to Hutchinson. Town with a chance to break. There is Liam Delap on the right-hand side, loses the ball to Bentancur. Song to halfway. Bentancur, then to Sarr. The crowd liven up, urging on Tottenham. Kulusevski back to Sarr. Sarr comes in field, yet to score in the Premier League this season. Gives it back to Bentancur. Bentancur pretty much the holder in midfield. Kulusevski and Sarr have licence to roam. Son down the left of the Ipswich area, taking on Hutchinson. In comes a cross, straight into the stomach of Muric.
Yeah, that was easy. We're looking, as I'll repeat it again, very compact in defence, you know, very disciplined. We did the right thing in playing, the goalkeeper playing that ball out early, and we got an attack going, and between Amari Hutchinson and Liam Delap, they just got the togetherness wrong, and we should have built a better attack than we did, but we're looking okay.
Muric not been given an option there. The ball kicked away by Tuanzebe. Well, that's a daft yellow card.
Yes.
That's really silly to do that. Very, very disappointing. Totally needless for a defender to put himself on a caution after, 20 minutes for kicking the ball away like that. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite him on the backside. Town, of course, have ended the last 2 games with 10 players. Free kick to Tottenham. The ball's now in the centre of the park. And Romero He plays it down through the centre circle to Dragerson. There's some open ground in front of him. He carries it a couple of yards. Now Son tight to the left touchline near side. And Noel Pink defending the end off to our left as we approach the midway point of this first half. Still to see a goal live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Udogie to Son. Son gives it back to Udogie. Held up by Ben Johnson. Udogie still has the ball, comes in field, gets to the left corner of the Ipswich area, then stops, checks, goes back. Sarr now has it. Son, it's intricate and short from Tottenham. Son trying his little scoop, clever little nutmeg on Tuanzebe. Doesn't come off, but it's Tottenham who regain the ball after Town clear. Town have all those pink shirts behind the ball, pretty much in their defensive third now. Here is Romero with a cross into the Ipswich area. Don't know one particular goal kick.
It's about the third time I've seen a Tottenham player guilty of playing a pass that simply is not on, and that's another one that's gone harmlessly out for a goal kick. We've got a player down. I think it's Amari Hutchinson.
Yeah, for the second time Hutchinson's gone down. On will come Matt Byard, trying to see if anybody, in terms of probably most likely Connor Chaplin's getting warmed up, but no sign of him. Let's go back to Graham.
Two other 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League this afternoon. Goals in both of those. Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United, they lead Leicester 1-0, and Murillo for Nottingham Forest to lead Newcastle 1-0. Remember, if Forest win, they'll be just a point behind Man City in second.
In terms of next 2 opponents, Man United and Nottingham Forest. What a job Nuno's doing at the City ground. Looking forward to seeing them in the flesh in 3 weeks' time. Break and play. Hutchinson's back on his feet. No sign of Chaplin being called for. Burns is also out, as is Hurst on this near side. A few players coming across, take on board some refreshment. Ben Johnson just getting a pat on his back from his manager. 23 minutes gone in this game. Still no goals this Sunday afternoon. Remember, your thoughts on this game very welcome on tomorrow's Blue Hour between 6 and 7 here on BBC Radio Suffolk. George Burley live in the studio with me. Looking forward to speaking to George around about 6:30 tomorrow evening. Hutchinson's off underneath us, but he's going to be okay. Muric made a couple of smart saves. One very good one from Solanke a few moments ago. Takes this right-footed clearance up over halfway. Delap shoves Sarr to the ground. The referee says that's fine. Udogie then nods it back to Dragerson. Unbalanced, he scoops it up and out as Hutchinson waits to come on the field.
Why doesn't the referee let him on?
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Throw down the line from Tuanzebe. Delap trying to get the better of Dragerson. Dragerson with a back heel down the line. Son's on the ball. He squeezes it through a little gap into the Tottenham penalty area. So we're going to have to build from the back, carrying it forward. And a bit further is Bentancur. To the right-hand side in space is Porro. He'll go diagonally towards the middle, but away from Son. Headed in field by Tuanzebe. Poor header from him. Kulusevski can't make anything of it. Hutchinson back on the field. Gets it to Johnson. Johnson to Kayusti, lovely turn from the Swede, and goes square to Leif Davis, overlapping his Smodics. Back to Kayusti on the halfway line. Morsey bobbles it back to Burgess, then gets it back from his centre half. Morsey off the outside of his right boot, curls it to the far touchline, and Smodics, who's just gone in behind Davis. Davis gone further forward, far side. Burgess to Morsey. Morsey lifts it back to Muric. Muric has time to get the bouncing ball under control. Snaps it out towards Davis. Davis's header in field is picked up by Bentancur. He went early towards Solanke, trying to see an opportunity, but Tanner blocked it out far side.
Yeah, so far we're looking very, very compact, and we've sort of, dropped into playing this new system very, very well.
Tottenham have the ball, being carried forward by Porro, edge of the area. The reverse ball to Johnson. Johnson in it comes, it takes the deflection. Muric in the end had to make a save. He had to be smart, down to his near post, and he was. Yeah,
it was just one of those lucky deflections. That it was a cross to go in, sort of around, sort of just 10 yards from our goals, and it's taken a deflection and it's gone straight towards Muric's near post. He's reacted very nicely, but it would have been sheer luck if it had gone in.
Burgess, who hit the crossbar with a header earlier on, looks downfield towards Delap. Delap's done well to keep it in far side. Excellent play from Delap. Then the referee got in the way of Smodics. Town still have the ball. Eventually back with Smodics. Can't do anything with it. Unfortunate that for Town, because that was excellent play from Delap. And the booing is from the Town fans towards the referee for getting in the way of that move.
Yeah, he was unfortunate there, but he did pick the loose ball up, and he then was guilty of sort of holding on to it a little bit long. He could have played the ball out to Leif Davis much more easily than it appeared.
0-0, 19 minutes to go until half-time at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Sarr dragged down by Morsey. Free kick in front of left-back to Tottenham, which they take rather briskly. Dragusin gives it to Bentancur. Back it goes to Dragusin. He did play for Romania at the last World Cup. Up to the halfway line, Bentancur gives it to Solanke, nicely off to Kulusevski in his stride to Johnson. This is nice play from Tottenham. Low ball in from Johnson's deflected, then headed out behind by O'Shea. He wasn't 100% confident that Muric was going to get it.
Yeah, again, it was untidy play by Tottenham. That cross that's come in wasn't really a dangerous cross. It's just taken another deflection, and it's caused us a little bit of a problem, but
Tottenham play the corner kick short. Johnson up against Smodics. In comes Johnson's cross. Muric plucks it out of the sky.
That's nice. Yeah. I think that we are looking very compact. Smodics and Hutchinson are playing. When we haven't got the ball, they're taking up very sort of inward positions. They're not out on the touchline. They're very inside, and Tottenham are finding it really difficult to go through the centre of the pitch. They're going to have to go right round the outsides if they're going to want to do anything.
Oh, poor ball from O'Shea, headed by Porro, but only at Burgess. Burgess controls it and then passes it out far side. A little bit messy from both sides there. Poorly measured pass, aiming for Davis, but not close enough to him. It's gifted Tottenham a throw-in in the 28th minute. Spurs have it infield with Udogie. To the left-hand side, Son. Infield it goes from Son. Deflected though, nicely for Hutchinson. Amari Hutchinson of Ipswich gets up to the halfway line, still has the ball, might lose it now. Good strong challenge that by Bentancur, and belted forward now to play by Tuanzebe.
He was unlucky. You know, that's what we need from Amari. You know, we're doing a lot of defending, and when we're sort of on the counter-attack, get it to him. He's got to show good control and good pace, and he was unlucky not to create something there.
Well, their last 6 here in all competitions, Tottenham. The only teams they've lost to here in their last 14 have been Arsenal and Manchester City. Good strong home record they've got. Cleared downfield by Muric. Comfortable header by Dragusin. That's what Ipswich Town are up against this afternoon, but holding their own so far in this game. Here is Porro. Going back to Romero. Go to Manchester City in a fortnight. Tottenham beat them recently here in the Carabao Cup. That was a noticeable victory for them. Now it's with Dragusin as on watches, and Postecoglou, former Celtic manager. Romero to Porro. On that far touchline, keeping the width, is Johnson. Now Bentancur lifts it up in the air towards Johnson. Back to goal, edge of the area. Gives it to Kulusevski, to Solanke. Back towards Kulusevski. Well defended by Town. Can now be brought away by Davis. Davis has run the ball a distance. Fabulous play this from Davis. Then just lost possession, but he's won a free kick for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, very, very calm play. He's actually taken that ball away from a Tottenham player, only probably 10 yards from the goalkeeper, and he's dribbled it ball out of the penalty area and almost up to the centre circle. Terrific play, good composure, wins himself a free kick in the end. Well done.
Yeah, terrific stuff from Leif Davis. Again, as we were saying earlier on, omitted from the latest England squad. Lewis Hall of Newcastle getting the nod as Lee Carsley made his final selection before Thomas Tuchel takes over in the new year. Muric to the right-hand side for Ipswich Town. Amari Hutchinson controls it by the corner flag, just down to our right, 0-0. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Tuanzebe just about keeps the ball in underneath us. He's one of the 2 changes pre-kick-off. Tuanzebe and Kayusti in today for Phillips and Chaplin. Burgess looking to the right-hand side, fine ball. Controlled infield by the right instep with Johnson. Hutchinson lays it off to Morsey. 15 minutes or so to get a first half goal for these two sides. Morsey again with Kayusti. Kayusti in his 3rd Premier League start. Nice play from him in the centre of the field. Gets the ball back from Delap. Now to the right hand side it's Johnson. Kayusti there wants it, the number 12 gets it. In comes his cross, that looks a good one. Could still be a danger. The overhead kick is a beautiful goal. What a spectacular goal from Sam Smodics. The overhead was a peach, low into the corner of the net, and again Ipswich Town take the lead. It's Tottenham 0, Ipswich Town 1. Smolix with his third of the season.
Well, first of all, it's a superb goal, great finish, but the move and the domination of the ball was superb. We had possession of the ball for a long time, and we were posing a threat all the way through the time we had it. It was basically down the right-hand side we had it, number of players doing good work, and then all of a sudden we managed. Kajust is the one that's involved heavily with it, but it's just a roll back and then the ball in. I thought the Tottenham defenders stood still on it. They were punished for doing that, and the overhead kick, it's not a high one, it's a low overhead kick, but it's got lovely direction on it. Perfect. And it's a great goal, and we deserve it. 3
goals for Sam Smolix so far this season. All the noise coming from the Ipswich Town fans. 6 times now in 11 games. Ipswich Town have taken the lead. What can they do about that? And as we said, most people were heading to this game expecting Ipswich Town to score first in this game, because that's what happens here. 13 times now in 15 games here in the Premier League. Tottenham have gone behind, and he does look a player that threatens to score goals, Sam Smolix. That's why, one of the reasons he's been preferred to, well, Broadhead's not even in the squad today, but Jack Clark, because he gets himself in positions, and he does convert as he comes across for a little word of wisdom and congratulations from his manager. There's a break and play at the moment, because I think it's Dominic Solanke. Having a quick look at the Tottenham players, they've certainly got a player down on the deck. The other 9 outfield players surrounding him. That's an interesting one for Ange Postecoglou. That really would rub salt into the wound. His side's behind, and his striker is down on the deck.
Yeah, we've actually, we deserve this, because we have, we threatened a goal early in the game, but our general play, our shape is good, our discipline is excellent when we haven't got the ball. We're making it really hard for Tottenham. They can't get through the centre of the pitch because our 2 wide attackers are trying to go in there close to Liam Delap, so they add to the midfield, if you like. We've got 3 centre backs through that central area. There's no way through the centre for them. They're having to go round the sides. Generally, Tottenham are trying to use Son, but Son is not particularly looking very dangerous. Johnson on the other side is not really getting a lot of the ball. The only 2 Tottenham players who are getting a lot of the ball are the 2 fullbacks. They haven't posed us any problems. I like us without the ball, and I think with the ball we show good adventure. We really do, and we've been very positive, and we deserve that goal. We really do.
The TV cameras have found Ed Sheeran at last as well. Solanke's coming across to the near side. Will Lancashire, the 19-year-old striker, pretty much untested at Premier League level, as the obvious replacement, because Timo Werner's tended to play in wider areas. If Solanke had to come off, there isn't great strength in depth in terms of forwards. Dane Scarlett, a Tottenham player on loan at Ipswich last season, currently on loan at Oxford. Could also be a concern for England if Solanke can't come on, but he looks to be all right. But at the moment, Tottenham a goal down here once again, and a man light as well, because Solanke's just getting himself ready to come back on. 10 minutes to go until half-time. Smolix with all of his goals have been away from home as well for Ipswich Town. We're at Man City on the opener at Tottenham from pre-match as well on BBC Radio Suffolk. Johnson back to Romero. Tottenham must have an awful lot of belief that they can come back into games. They're so used to having to do it. Here is Johnson. Johnson's done well. Gets to the halfway line. Gives it back in field to Morsey. Morsey goes backwards to Twanzebe. Edge of his box now is Dara O'Shea. Now with Cameron Burgess out towards Davis. So that excellent little defensive work a few minutes ago. Kayusti, who played a big part in that goal. Well, I think the final touch was off of Liam Delap when it dropped down to Smolix. Kayusti doing some defensive work far side, bringing down Kulusevski. Has he? No, the referee says play on. Ball somehow stayed in play. Cleared away by Davis, brought down by Liam Delap. Just called up to the under-21s with Amari Hutchinson for England in recent days. Liam Delap. Here is Udogie. Tottenham have 10 minutes at least to get a first half goal. Dragusin finding Porro. 1-0 Ipswich. Porro through the middle looking for Solanke. Solanke brings down O'Shea. Could be playing against each other at Wembley next Saturday, those 2 players. England hosting the Republic of Ireland.
Yeah, he showed good strength there, O'Shea. That is a position he obviously likes. He's the central one of the three centre-backs, and he's the controller. He's doing really well.
Burgess to Leif Davis. Davis to Smodics. Nice touch back. Davis gets on the ball. Lovely link-up play between those two. Davis then gives it away. Straight to Romero. Romero infield to Son in a central area for once the South Korean captain to Udogie. Udogie goes inside the area. Johnson wins the challenge and it goes back to Muric. One or two people embarrassed themselves by asking for a penalty. There's no chance. It's back with Aaron Muric, and still Town have a lead on BBC Radio Suffolk.
No, I don't think it was a penalty, but it was a real threat down the outside because Udogie actually looked as if he's got more pace than Johnson, who was making the run with him. But that's the only threat for me is down the outside, because Hutchinson and Smodics have been obviously told to get infield and just assist Liam Delap when we haven't got the ball. It does leave their fullbacks fairly free.
Town's game plan working very, very well. Tottenham with Porro giving the ball forward to Johnson. Now Porro again wide on the right hand side. In comes his cross, dealt with by Muric again. Done well in the first half, the goalkeeper.
But everything, generally speaking, when that ball is fired in there from the right hand side, there's only one Tottenham attacker in there, and we had about 4 pink shirts all around him, you know, so the opportunity that...
Terrible from Burgess, straight to Sarr, very sloppy. Kulusevski to Son, thankfully that ball's just away from him, and it's going to be an Ipswich Town free kick for a foul by Son on Tuanzebe, much to the relief of Cameron Burgess.
Yeah, I'll go with that as well. I think that was a free kick. They shouldn't have given away a free kick, but you know, it was a bad challenge.
Keeper telling Muric to hurry up with this one. Solanke seems to be okay now for Tottenham, so an overhead goal from Smodics on 31 minutes is where we're at here. Town ahead. Their first competitive game here. They did have a pre-season game a couple of years here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The first visit for an awful lot of those supporters with smiles on their faces over in the far left corner. Dragusin went up. Like he was fouled, both he and Sarr on the deck. Free kick awarded to Tottenham. No team has led for fewer minutes in the Premier League this season than Ipswich Town. But they've been ahead for the last 7 in this game. Here is Dragusin. So goals in all 3 of the 2 o'clock games in the Premier League today. At 4:30 it's the London derby between Chelsea and Arsenal. Arsenal have a little patchy period of form. Tottenham playing it out from the back a little bit riskily. Delap's barged Bentancur to the deck. Vicario then makes the save, but it's already been given as a free kick to Tottenham. Delap just being overly physical. Tottenham urged on by their crowd. Porro flying down the right hand side. Johnson's near to him. Porro comes in field though. Tottenham looking a bit frustrated because Town are getting bodies back and making it very difficult to play through them. Here is Sarr again. Of course Town have that goal to hold on to. Son, infield to Udogie, back towards Son. Son tries to get the ball through, a little gap towards Solanke. Hutchinson gives it back towards O'Shea, up from him but not very far away. Sarr wins the header. Solanke carries it on for himself, gives it to Son inside the area, but it's always going to run away from him. And out for a goal kick.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a threat there, but I don't think Tottenham have really got their game going very well this half. I think that we've actually sort of stifled them. We really have, and we've done our homework well, and they are finding it very difficult.
5 minutes to go until half-time. Timo Werner, I'm
pretty sure, I thought just now, but I think we might have gone to a back 4 actually, Brenner. I think we're sort of... Tuanzebe has come over to deal with Son, and I think Johnson's moved on to the left back.
Chops and changes between the two. Here is Burgess, left-footed, getting the ball up towards the front line, but headed away by Udogie. Brought down by Kulusevski, but in steps Kayusti. Davis down the left to the goal scorer Smodics, trying to get the better of Porro, which he can't do. Brought away by Tottenham to Kulusevski, but lots of pink shirts back for Ipswich Town. Defending the goal and defending it very well off to our left. Here again is Udogie, the number 13, the 21-year-old left back. Now it's Bentancur. His attempted pass blocked off by Hutchinson. A few moans and groans from Tottenham fans not happy. Smodics on the ball. Delap wants it in the middle. The reverse pass finds Davis far side. Town coming forward. Davison early. Deflected. Cleared away by Dragison. Only as far as Hutchinson. Hutchinson outside the area. Squeeze it through a gap to Morsey. Morsey loses it to Solanke. Then to Son. Son touches on. Across will come Burgess. Should get there first. And indeed he does. He turns it back to Murich. Well done by the Australian.
Yeah, terrific play, Cameron Burgess. He sort of sensed danger early, got himself across and tidied up nicely.
They've played against each other at international level. And Korea have played Australia in recent years. Son and Burgess. Burgess came out the victor there. Here is Morsey. Final 3.5 minutes of normal time at the end of this first half, live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Town ahead. Murich closed down by Solanke. Terrible from the goalkeeper. Straight to Sarr. Very bad indeed. Into the box to Son. Son goes square. Cleared away though by Davis. Again, Town almost given Tottenham a chance. Tottenham maybe should have done better. Here come Ipswich Town. Hutchinson to halfway. Gets the better of Bentancur. Not once but twice. Hutchinson still has the ball. Everything to his left-hand side. Feeds Davis. Controlled nicely. Maybe a chance for a second goal. Davis to Smodics. Smodics inside the area. He goes square. And it's in! 2-0 Ipswich Town before half-time. Delap belted into the roof of the net. Might have even crossed the line before then, but off he goes to celebrate. And in the 42nd minute, it's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Ipswich Town 2 now.
Brilliant timed goal as well, just before half-time. That gives us a nice lead. Let's take this now into the half-time team talk. There was a threat all the way through that move, and Mari Hutchinson initially kept possession brilliantly. There was a couple of challenges. He kept his balance nicely. Then he was making his way over to the left-hand side, and over there we had Leif Davis and we had Sammy Smodics, and they, between the two of them, sort of created the goal, and it's come in. And from that moment, anybody, and I mean defenders as well, could put that ball over the line. The danger was already written down with the cross into the 6-yard box.
Town leading 2-0 at Tottenham. Of course, they led 2-0 at Brentford as well, so none of us getting carried away, particularly given Tottenham's record at coming back into games. They are getting the ball rolling again. Just keep seeing a replay of Delap getting his sixth goal of the season. It's terrific. Only the third Ipswich Town player in history to score in 3 consecutive away Premier League games, following on from Chris Kawamia and Klaus Thompson. Liam Delap, what an introduction he's had to the Premier League. Wide on the right hand side, Porro for Tottenham, who will feel they need to get a goal back before half time. It would be a massive help anyway. We can't on this occasion. Kayusti is doing some excellent work defensively. He's had a very good first half, the Swede. It's out for a goal kick to Ipswich Town.
Yeah, we've done well. We started off with the back five, and then I think purely and simply because maybe the threat that we anticipated from Tottenham wasn't quite there. I think the manager's decided we can handle that scene probably with a 4, and I think he's pretty much, encouraged Ben Johnson to go on. Make sure that Udogie doesn't get so much of the ball on this right-hand side, and he's gone on, he's taken him. Chuancebi's quite naturally stepped over to mark Son. That's worked a treat, and we've carried on, giving Tottenham problems in defence as well. So defensively, we've got our tactics perfect, and in attack we've shown great positivity.
Solanke's down again off the ball. That would be another real boost for Ipswich Town if he were to be struggling to that extent, although I think he's claiming something involving Axel Tuanzebe. The referee having a word with both of them. Might be wise for somebody to remind Axel Tuanzebe's on a yellow card. Just a calm talk between the two. Play will continue with a Udogie throw-in, after which the board's going to go up and tell us how much added on time there is, because we're into it at the end of this first half, as Udogie nods it out of play on this near side of the field. 4 minutes of added on time. Town leading by 2 goals to 0. Here is Tuanzebe with this throw-in for Ipswich. So far so good in terms of his reintroduction to the side. He throws the ball up towards goal scorer Delap. There is Hutchinson. He played a big part in that second goal for Town. Son goes back to Bentancur, then out towards Sarr. Morsey challenges him. There's a shot from a distance out by Kayusti, but there was a foul by Morsey leaning into Sarr. The referee's right on the spot, so Mr. England had no qualms about blowing his whistle. Now the rolling ball has been penalised by the referee. It's another free kick for Tottenham. A few Town fans said if we win on Sunday, let's play in pink for the rest of the season. Well, they are winning in pink, but there's a full second half to come on BBC Radio Suffolk. Here is Son. Drag us in. Test this for Tottenham as well, the way that Town have been playing. Terrifically well, the way that Ipswich have been set up and gone about their business this afternoon so far. It's been tremendous in terms of an away performance. There is Kulusevski to drag us in. The ball crosses halfway to the left, and Son 90 seconds into the added on 4 minutes. Smodix and Delap with the goals for Town. Here is Romero just north of the centre circle, along the floor to Johnson. He's been very quiet. Terrible pass from him away from Porro. And out for a throw-in. George Postecoglou, hands in pockets, his big overcoat on down below us, just bows his head in annoyance and frustration.
Well, he must do, because that for me is about the 5th pass that has absolutely gone to nobody. You know, you just wonder, you know, what is the man on the ball thinking of?
Hutchinson, ball beats him. Porro once again for Tottenham. Slips it into midfield, and Bentancur closed down by Kiyusti. And Porro plays it infield, but it's off Smodix. Smodix controls it, loses it to Porro. Kiyusti steps in there and does well yet again. He's having a good game. Here he is, getting the ball back to Davis after he tiptoed between a couple of players in white. Cleared by Davis towards Delap, who's up for the battle. He and Romero go to ground. The referee's going to keep an eye on those two because they're still tangled. Morsey is the peacekeeper in between the pair of them. Referee will now want a word, one would have thought, with Christian Romero and Liam Delap.
I wouldn't want Sam Morsey to be the peacekeeper.
Yeah, he's no stranger to the odd card, is Christian Romero. The referee's having a word with both he and Liam Delap. Hopefully, common sense is going to kick in. Don't think he's going to give either a yellow card. Just a final warning for those two as we head towards half-time, final minute of the added on 4 here. Sarr in the centre, closed down by Hutchinson. Udogi infield towards Solanke, back to goal, a long way out, brought down by Kiyusti. Free kick. Too far out for Tottenham to shoot at goal though. It's good 36 yards. Porro is over it. Tottenham obviously trying to do everything at a rate of knots, trying to get a foothold on the scoreboard before half-time. Referee standing over the ball. Free kick Tottenham in the central area, almost halfway between the edge of the Ipswich penalty area and the halfway line. Town defending a 2-0 lead. Porro knocks the ball into the Ipswich Town box, right through the box. Romero goes down in the area and a challenge with Burgess, but nothing doing. Goal kick. Yeah,
good play. Good disciplined line. I just thought that maybe Ben Johnson should have been further out here towards Son, but from this position we lined up. I couldn't see any sort of blemish there at all. Apart from that, I thought just get a little bit closer to Son and just take away that possibility of that ball, and then when the ball went in, there was no problem at all.
Well, unlike Brentford, Town are going to head down the tunnel with a lead here this afternoon. Hopefully 2-0. Definitely 2-0. That is it for the first half. And Tottenham are being booed off, which is nice to hear from our perspective, because thanks to goals from Smodix and Delap, Ipswich Town have a 2-0 lead, McMills.
Yeah, and this has been a good performance. It really has. There's been a lot of sort of good decisions made today. I think the first decision to go with a back 5 was a good one. That made the initial part of the game really difficult for Spurs. They didn't look as if they knew quite how to break that system down. They couldn't go through the middle. They had to go out wide. They would seem to be unable to sort of get Johnson in the game very much over on the right-hand side. Everything was coming through the left back, Udogi, and Son, the left side attacker. And when Tottenham had the ball, we were so disciplined, it was unbelievable. It was good. And you thought, yeah, this will give us a chance. And then when we got possession of the ball, I thought our positivity from then onwards was really good, and we posed a threat going forward. And consequently, we've We've sort of got ourselves a goal, put us in the front, and then even then, there's a decision from the manager to just tweak it a little bit, not say, yep, I've got this absolutely perfect, we're 1-0 up, I'll leave it alone. He then decided, no, if I sort of just nullify completely Tottenham's left-hand side, I don't think they'll have any idea how to break us down at all. And that decision was to push Johnson onto Udogie and make sure he didn't get so much of the ball, and for Chuansabi to come out and now do a 1v1 against Son, and it worked a treat. And since that moment, we've got ourselves 2-0 in front. And we are absolutely shutting down all the avenues that Tottenham would want, So this has been a really, really good performance. And what I like about this position we're now in is that we've pretty much got our side of the situation going well. We're not in any real danger defensively. We're looking good in attack. We're 2-0 in front. And when I look at Tottenham, I think collectively, no. Individually, no. And that inspires me most of all, is that there is not one individual out there for Tottenham that is worrying me one iota at this present moment. I hope it continues in the second half. But that is the case at the moment. I can't pick one Tottenham player out and say he's having a good game, he's a threat. We've got to be careful about him.
Let's hope that carries on, because here at half-time, Ipswich Town have a 2-0 lead over Tottenham.
Come on, brilliant half of football from Ipswich Town. If you just joined us on BBC Radio Suffolk, we will bring you those goals again before we rejoin Brenna Woolley and Mick Mills for the second half. Two other 2 o'clock kickoffs this afternoon in the top flight. Manchester United leading Leicester by 2-0, both scored by Bruno Fernandes, and Nottingham Forest 1, Newcastle 0 is a half-time score. Mentioned earlier, Forest just a point behind Manchester City if they can win today. At Chelsea v Arsenal from 4:30. The Championship's lunchtime kickoff ended Sheffield United 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0. Tyrese Campbell, the match winner for the Blades. Hull v West Brom is deep into stoppage time, with the Baggies leading 2-1. Burnley v Swansea kicking off in the second tier in a few minutes' time. Ipswich Town women are in action this afternoon in the National League Premier Division. Natasha Thomas giving the Tractor Girls an early lead in their match away at Cheltenham. Joe Sheehan's side unbeaten this season so far in the league. She got the first. There have been 4 more since then. It's a remarkable season so far for the Tractor Girls, and half-time score Cheltenham 0, Ipswich Town women 5.
The 1,000-mile challenge for BBC Children in Need.
And I am at Crown Pools now, where our swim team have just completed their challenge!
BBC Radio Suffolk, together with other BBC teams from across the UK, have swum 1,000 miles for children in need.
Arms are a bit achy.
Tomorrow when I wake up, I won't be thinking, I hope my cozzie's dry.
And I thought you were going to lap me at one point.
Thank you for your support. You can still donate by going to bbc.co.uk/swim.
Together, swimming 1,000 miles for BBC Children in Need.
Yeah, remarkable feat from our swimmers. That's now 30 goals that Ipswich Town women have scored in their last 2.5 games. 13-0 a fortnight ago against MK Dons in the league, 12-0 last week against MK Dons in the Cup, and this afternoon 5 and counting on the road at Cheltenham. And guess what? The men aren't doing so bad either. If you just joined us, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Ipswich Town 2 is the half-time score in our main feature this afternoon. Goals from Sam Smodics and Liam Delap, which we will bring to you before we get underway with the second half at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Let's have a look back at yesterday in the Premier League. Liverpool extended their lead at the top to 5 points following a 2-0 win over Aston Villa, thanks to goals from Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah. 15 wins out of 17 in all competitions now for Arne Slot's side, and he's pleased with the progress that's been made so far during his first season in charge.
You don't think about after how many games, how many points do I want? No, you only think about implementing playing style or keeping the playing style as much the same as it was. But to keep the same, you have to work and do a lot of things on the training ground and in your video meetings as well.
Before Liverpool kicked off against Aston Villa, Manchester City lost 2-1 at Brighton in the 5:30 kick-off. That's a fourth successive defeat for the first time as a manager for City boss Pep Guardiola.
We lost, so now I'm going to give you my argument. It looks like an excuse. Today the first half was really good, but we are not consistent enough to close the game. With the chances we had against that Brighton, we didn't concede one chance. The team is ready and do it, but we are not sustainable for more than 90 minutes. We are not good enough in that terms and sustain the game for a long time.
Brighton had trailed 1-0 as late as the 78th minute before coming back to win. Fabian Hurtzler's side are up to 4th.
Of course, we should take self-confidence. We should take the self-belief out of these games that we can compete with every big team in this league. We showed it last weekend against Liverpool. We proved it now against City. So, of course, the squad should take self-confidence, self-belief out of these games. But it's very important to stay humble, to trust the process, to go step for step, to go game for game, and then let's see how it's going.
Earlier in the day, Brentford 3, Bournemouth 2. A 2-0 defeat for Crystal Palace at home to Fulham. A first Premier League win of the season for Wolves. Gary O'Neill's side beat Southampton 2-0 at Molineux.
Pleased for the players, really. They've given so much over the course of a tough start to the season for us. Played very well in games and not taken anything. And today we had to fight and we had to scrap, and we got a big win and a very big clean sheet.
Wolves off the bottom with that win. It's Russell Martin's Saints who now prop up the table.
Yeah, the second goal rocked us, I think, in terms of performance, and it gave them energy, and you could see that. Even it gave their manager energy. We had none in the first half, and in the second half he had loads. So my take on it is, if I say before the game we're going to come and have that much of the ball in the final third, away from home in the Premier League, limit the home team to 8 shots, then I expect us to get something from the game. And we don't. So we're on a tough end of 2 decisions, I think, really, that should go our way. They don't. But we still need to do more. Like, with the amount of time we spend in the final third with the ball and how dominant we were with the ball, it's really not easy in the Premier League, that. So we have to make the most of that, and we're not.
Just last question then, how much more pressure do you feel under after that result?
Mate, I feel under pressure every single day of the week, so that's not going to change with this result. Yeah, the players are trying their very, very hardest. We lost a big player before the game today. It's a big loss for us, and it's a tough day. We had a really good day last week. We had a tough one today. It's just football, and we'll keep working.
Russell Martin after Wolves 2, Southampton 0. Goalless in the other match yesterday we've not mentioned, between West Ham and Everton. Everton now on 10 points and West Ham on 12. A quick non-league roundup for you. Needham Markets footballers beaten 1-0 at home by Chester yesterday in the National League North. In the Southern Premier League there were defeats for both AFC Sudbury, 3-1 at Halesowen, and Lowestoft Town 4-0 at Sturbridge, while Leiston drew 0-0 with Bromsgrove. Bury Town are back on top of the Isthmian North Division. They beat Basildon United 4-0 at Ram Meadow yesterday. Felixstowe and Walton United's 2-0 win at home to Cambridge City leaves the Seaside as 4th, 5 points behind Bury but with 2 games in hand. Mildenhall took a point from their fixture with Brightlingsea yesterday. That one ended goalless. Newmarket lost 2-0 at Grays, and Ipswich Wanderers were hammered 8-0 at Brentwood. Wanderers now prop up the table. But let's hear from the leaders. First team coach Mark Jolland spoke on behalf of Bury Town after that 4-0 win for Cole Skewes' side over Basildon.
Since Cole's been here, we were saying that's probably the most complete performance. We've had some really good first halves, some really good spells in games, but that we had a little dip only for about 5-10 minutes in the second half when we made lots of changes, but then they soon picked up the pace of the game, and yeah, very pleased. And I think for the whole 90 minutes, that is our best since Cole's been here.
Yeah, right from the off, Bury looked sharp, hungry, inventive, and everyone looked confident on the ball.
Yes, yeah, we've worked on that a lot at training, the little patterns and little systems, and we've now got people pushing for places. So we've had many games, so we've tried to shuffle it as best we can, but so people are right on it. But if you can get all 11 at it, then that's what you'll get, a performance like that. And at the minute, everyone's just really keen to play. They can't wait to come training. So it's a real good feel factor at the minute. And we had one little blip against Waltham Abbey. You're not going to win every game. But we played that game really well for 20 minutes. And then we sort of fell off a bit. But yeah, today, perfect. Was really happy with that.
Was there extra motivation in the Bury camp today? Because it was Basildon, and of course, defeated you 6-2 here last season, which is probably the lowest point of Cole's reign so far as a manager.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to mention that, so thanks for bringing that up. Was trying to keep that one out of the way. But yes, I suppose, but we've spoke about that game was the turning point all those months ago now, when after that we had to do extra train and we all got together, realised where we were going wrong. So from that point, we gradually grown. So, yeah, that's come up a few times.
And top of the table, obviously going well at the moment. Tilbury, who was second, lost this afternoon. So you must be very pleased with the way things are progressing.
Yeah, they've done really well, Tilbury. Well, I've seen them play. I saw them play against Newmarket, and they play some nice stuff to their credit. But the two big guns are coming behind us, aren't they? Felixstowe and Brentwood. They'll gradually keep up, of course they will. But we'll keep plugging away, playing our football, and then the big budget boys will have to chase us down, won't they?
Mark Jolland with Nick Garner after Bury Town went top of the Isthmian North Division yesterday. A couple of other non-league games of note to mention from yesterday. Wins for both Brantham Athletic and Walsham Llewellows in the FA Vars. Brantham through to round 3 after a 2-1 victory at home to Benfleet. Walsham saw off Potton United 3-0 at Summer Road. Wendy, Super Blue fan from Ipswich, she called in ahead of kick-off this afternoon, our main feature, and she said Liam Delap and Sam Schmoddix will be on the score sheet for Ipswich Town. Second half coming up, but she's right already.
Well played by Mari Hutchinson. Ipswich Town's first attack, low ball into the box, might now be a chance for Schmoddix inside the area, carries it on, still Schmoddix has the ball. His effort towards the near post is smuggled out by Vicario. Just outside the Ipswich area, back to his captain, Son knocks a dangerous ball in. Oh, it's just past the post. Was that Porro who was running in there? No, it was Brennan Johnson who got the final touch. That was close to an opening goal for Tottenham. Tottenham have everybody back defending. It's Leif Davis to curl it in towards the far stick, headed towards the goal line, headed against the bar in the end. Town inches away from an opening goal. It's Cameron Burgess. In comes across. Solanke on the chest, buys himself some room, shoots. Good save by Muric. Really smart stop down to his left-hand side, the cost of him. Well done. Now to the right-hand side, it's Johnson. Kayusti there wants it, the number 12 gets it. In comes his cross, that looks a good one. Could still be a danger. The overhead kick is a beautiful goal. What a spectacular goal from Sam Schmoddix. The overhead was a peach, low into the corner of the net. And again, Ipswich Town take the lead. It's Tottenham 0, Ipswich Town 1. Schmoddix with his third of the season. Here come Ipswich Town. Hutchinson to halfway. Gets the better of Bentancur. Not once but twice. Hutchinson still has the ball. Everything to his left-hand side. Feeds Davis. Controlled nicely. Maybe a chance for a second goal. Davis to Schmoddix. Schmoddix inside the area. He goes square. And it's in! 2-0 Ipswich Town before half-time. Delap belted into the roof of the net. Might have even crossed the line before then, but off he goes to celebrate. And in the 42nd minute, it's Tottenham Hotspur 0, Ipswich Town 2 now.
Wayne Babin at breakfast.
Thank you. So many donations already being handed in for I'll Be Kind to a Kid at Christmas.
Gem and I have donated about 100 books, fun books that children will love to interact with, books that will hopefully make children smile when they open them up on Christmas Day.
From the quiz, we made £90. The pub's going to add another £100 to that.
A lovely regular customer, she's a pensioner. She came in last week clutching a bag of toys. She said, look, I grew up in care. I know what it's like to go without, especially during Christmas.
Remember, you can drop your toys off at any branch of Suffolk Libraries.
Wayne Babin at breakfast.
Weekdays from 6.
BBC Radio Suffolk.
You are with Matchday. Reminder, we're taking your calls at full time as always. 0800 141 2121. Hopefully we'll be talking about that first Ipswich Town win of the Premier League season. They are 2 up at Tottenham Hotspur. Elsewhere, Manchester United 2, Leicester 0. Nottingham Forest underway in their second half with Newcastle. They lead 1-0 at the City Ground. But let's go back to our main feature. We can rejoin Mick Mills and Brenna Woolley.
Town doing very well here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium with that 2-0 lead at half-time. Catching Spurs on an off day, maybe jet-lagged after Thursday night, but they've been below par. Ipswich Town have done ever so well, making the most of it. Sam Schmoddix with his third goal for the club, and Liam Delap now on a half-dozen. That was his 6th when he belted the ball into the roof of the net after 42 minutes. Town in all pink, playing from right to left towards their fans in the second half. Tottenham in the traditional lily white shirts with the navy blue sleeves and navy blue shorts and white socks, obviously defending the end. Off to our left, Tottenham. No changes at half-time. There's a break and play I'll run you through the two starting 11s as Delap barges into Romero. It's going to be interesting to see how their duel develops in this second half. And immediately, I think Liam Delap's going to get a word from the referee for knocking the Argentinian to the deck. It looks like a yellow card for him. Town's second of the game. Twanzebe got one very early on in this match. It's Liam Delap's fourth of the season, so one more he serves a ban. So down they got Muric, Twanzebe, O'Shea, Burgess, Johnson, Morsey, Kayuste, Davis, Hutchinson, Smodix, Delap. On the bench, Walton, Chaplin, Hurst, Burns, Harry Clark, Jack Clark, Luongo, Townsend and Wolfenden. Vicario is the goalkeeper of Tottenham. Then you've got Porro, Romero, Dragusin, Udogi, Kulusevski, Bentancur, Sarr, Johnson, Solanke, Son. Poor touch out from Vicario. Cleared forward though by Porro, headed away by Burgess, controlled by Kulusevski under pressure from Kayuste. It was an excellent game. Davis then plays it off of Porro out for a throw. On the Tottenham bench, Forster, Spence, Davis, Gray, Basuma, Bergvall, Maddison, one would imagine, has a good chance of being the first change. Werner and Lancashire. Lancashire might pop up as well at some point. He's a striker. Headed in field by Johnson, then cleared high and away by Davis. 90 seconds gone in the second half. Is today to be the day that Ipswich Town finally get that Premier League victory? The 11th time of asking.
Well, the first job is to get back into the game. You know, we were sort of very settled before half-time, very dominant. We've had the half-time. That's an enjoyable period when you lead in a football match, but now you're back out there. You've got to get back into it, and you've got to sort of get back to where you were when the first half finished.
Phil McCann having a long chat to the fourth official, Robert Jones, down below us. Free kick which Burgess takes for Ipswich, left-footed, headed away by Dragusin, controlled in the midfield area by Twanzebe, given away though by the big man. Bentancur carries it to halfway, holding off Twanzebe. Bentancur through the middle, lovely ball. Johnson controls it, not quite well enough inside the area. Still Brennan Johnson has it, lays it off to Sarr. Sarr into the box to Son. The next goal's massive in this game. Son shoots right-footed, tipped over by Muric. Excellent work from the Kosovan again. That's not the first good save he's made either.
Yeah, it was a real threat, particularly when Johnson was getting himself in the box.
Quickly taken through, corner kick by Tottenham. Kulusevski inside the area, left-footed towards the far stick, touched in by Dragusin, palmed away by Muric, just over the top of Johnson. Cleared out by Morsey for a corner kick to Tottenham, who are knocking on the door. Tottenham applying some serious pressure, quickly taking corner kick. Porro has the ball wide right, wants to take on Smodix. Smodix gets a touch, corner kick again to Tottenham. Pedro Porro on this corner kick for Tottenham. All 10 pink shirts are back in the box off to our right, defending in it. And it comes from the Spaniard, it's in! Tottenham have got one back inside the first 4 minutes of the second half. Hold on to your hats. Appeals for a handball for a few Town players have gone towards the referee.
Yeah, they have.
So we shall see what comes of this, whether VAR check it out. At the moment, it's now Tottenham Hotspur 1, Ipswich Town 2. Let's just have a little look at this replay. It's hit up. Very difficult to tough that angle. It's Solanke seems to be the player that's claiming the goal. There's a tangle of arms near the ball. It seemed to come off of somebody somehow when Solanke knocked it in. Whether it was his own arm or whether it was Dara O'Shea's. VAR's looking at it, checking a possible handball.
Might be Dara O'Shea's hand.
Very difficult to tell from this level. The referee's going to check the screen for handball. And no goal. It is still Ipswich Town who lead 2-0. The goal has been chalked off. Tottenham's celebration short-lived. Solanke has not pulled one back for Tottenham, and Ipswich Town still have a 2-goal advantage.
OK, back to square one. We're now 2-0 up, and we've got to be careful. We were a little bit lazy on those corner kicks. They were threatening to take short corners, and we were doing nothing about it. So let's learn from that.
I've always liked VAR. Here comes Muric with this goal kick for Ipswich Town. Maybe things are starting to level themselves out. Finally, a decision goes Ipswich Town's way in the Premier League. It's a real blow that to Tottenham psychologically, having thought they'd got themselves into the game. The perfect start to the second half, a goal back inside 5 minutes. Well, they haven't managed it yet. as Twanzebe's ball goes right through to Vicario. Fans still staying with their team. I guess they're used to this, the Tottenham fans. They were a lot better in the second half here against Villa last week. Ball out of play, hits Postecoglou. I think he blinked down below us, kept his arms folded anyway. So through to his side, right in front of him, Porro. He took that corner kick that led to the disallowed goal. Gives it to Kulusevski. Here is Porro again. Quite surprised how quickly they made that decision as well, which is good news as well. Davis infield, touched by Dragusin onto the chest of Sarr. Sarr heads it back to Dragusin. Out to the left-hand side, nice ball finds Son. Tottenham having a right old go now. 6 minutes gone in the second half. Solanke picks up the reverse ball from Son to the left-hand side outside the Ipswich area. Udogie has it now, he's inside the box, gives it to Kulusevski. Everyone back for Ipswich Town. So difficult for Tottenham to get through them. Excellent defensive work from Town. Here come Tottenham again. The ball takes a deflection, goes to the left, and Sarr gets there ahead of Johnson. Johnson stands up to him. Now Son, the Tottenham captain, tiptoeing into the area, a little step over inside the Ipswich box, pulls it back. Chance for Bentancur. Hutchinson flew at the ball, committed himself. Son inside the area, taking on Johnson, dinking it off Johnson. Corner kick to Tottenham, their fourth inside the 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, good discipline there, and in the end we've given a corner away, but that was good defending.
Son with a corner kick for Tottenham. Plenty of them in the early stages of this second half. As the noise rises at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Ipswich still lead 2-0. Good hands again from Muric. Two players collide just behind him. One was Dragusin and one was Burgess. Both going to be okay though.
Yeah, very good take. You know, the ball has got plenty of height on it. Nice for the keeper. If he's got a direct path to the ball, it's going to be his.
1-1 at the City Ground. Newcastle are drawn level after trailing Nottingham Forest in that first half. That's one of 3 2 o'clock kickoffs today. Also Man United, Leicester. United were 2-0 up at half-time against the Foxes. 7.5 gone here in the second half. Kieran McKenna pointing and talking to his players. Be a particularly special and poignant victory this for Kieran McKenna if his side can do this. Sarr to the left and Son up against Twanzebe. Son still has the ball far side. Infield, it comes from him to Sarr. Sarr goes square to Kulusevski. Kulusevski, little ball into the box just behind Son. Right the way through the area and out for a goal kick. I think we know what to expect from the rest of this game based on what we've seen in these 7 or 8 minutes.
Well, I think this is a really important part of the game for Town. You know, that Tottenham have come out, they've improved from the first half. They're taking the game to us. We've just got to see it out. We've got to be ultra disciplined through this period.
Muric with this goal kick for Ipswich Town, headed by Dragusin over the top of Johnson. Dara O'Shea piles into the back of Solanke. Solanke shall know ill effects from that time he spent on the deck with an injury in the first half, which at one point looked like it might rule him out of the rest of this game. He's been okay. There is Romero. 9 minutes on the clock in the second half. After which, your thoughts very welcome. Match day is on air till 5 o'clock today. Call 0800 141 2121. Text 81333. Start those messages SFK, or WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, start them SFK. Spurs down the right hand side. Kulusevski in field. Davis did enough. Spurs almost won it back. O'Shea stepped in there. He's had a good game. Out to Smodic's near side, who scored the first goal of the afternoon. Back it goes from him to Davis. Cameron Burgess out towards Morsey. Morsey closed down by Sarr. Then Burgess just belts it forward, which at that time was exactly the right thing to do. Spurs have got the ball back with Vicario. And of course you can also email me your thoughts as well ahead of the Blue Hour tomorrow night. Brenner at bbc.co.uk. Always good to get your thoughts between 6 and 7 on a Monday night. We'll also hear from George Burley tomorrow live in the studio with me from 6:30. And Formula 1 commentator Alex Jakes has done his My Town Top 10. Trying to get the ball is Kiyusti. Then Udogie can't get the better of Twanzebe on the deck. It's really messy far side. Eventually a free kick's given for a scything challenge on Udogie.
Yeah, it doesn't make any difference at all if we just mess the game up a little bit. like it is. It's got a little bit untidy. That was a really good start by Tottenham. They won all those corner kicks. They forced us back, and they were purring a little bit. You know, now that's gone untidy, and that's good for us.
Yep, still 2-0 Ipswich Town. Tottenham had a goal disallowed for handball via VAR early in the second half. Davis throws the ball into Hutchinson. Had a big hand in the second goal, Amari Hutchinson. He gives it to Johnson. Hutchinson wants it back. Hutchinson outside the area, still has it, takes on his man. Amari Hutchinson into the box to Leif Davis. Davis goes square. Back towards Davis inside the area. That was maybe a chance for Town. Well won back just by the strength of Delap. He plays it off Johnson and wins Ipswich Town a throw. Well done, Liam Delap again, but that opened up nicely.
Yeah, it did, and that was a chance, half a chance, and but we've kept possession of the ball only through a throw in, but that's good determination, and now the game has moved from one end and it's up the other end. That's where we want it.
Kiyusti getting ready to take this throw in for Ipswich Town, defending this 2-0 lead at the moment, trying to extend it to 3. Kiyusti with a long throw into the Tottenham box, headed on well by O'Shea towards the far stick, nodded down not too far. Hutchinson with a little header. Son tries to clear it, but it's won by Burgess, not back in, but only to Vicario. Vicario underarm quickly gets his fellow Italian Udogi on a gallop far side. Udogi infield towards Solanke, carrying the ball for Tottenham. Solanke shoots from a distance over the bar. It was dipping, but not quickly enough.
Well, it was a fast break, and you know, there was opportunities, but you know, as soon as he was sort of shaping to hit it from distance, you tend to feel, go on, just hit it. You're a long way from goals there. Yeah, he's a long way out, and you know, he wasn't really going to test Muric.
Muric's getting a bit of stick from the home fans for supposed time wasting. Doesn't seem overly perturbed by that. Ipswich Town #1. It's had a good game so far as well. Tottenham 0, Ipswich Town 2, live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Every kick of every Ipswich Town match. Mick will be alongside me at Portman Road 2 weeks today. It's a 4:30 kick-off when Ruben Amorim takes charge of Manchester United for the first time. Burgess back to Muric. Muric then goes long. Delap's after this one. Fancy's taken on the two centre halves. Delap's going to get back on the ball. Brilliant from Delap, unbelievable. Gets into the D, gives it to Hutchinson. Oh, his effort's off target, but my goodness me, Delap is causing them so many problems at the back.
Yeah, he did cause problems, but they were very lethargic. You know, they just didn't seem to sense any danger there, and their challenges on Delap were so half-hearted. You wouldn't really want to be in charge of that group of defenders.
Tottenham at the back, passing it around. What a start to his Ipswich Town career, to his Premier League career, Liam Delap really has had. Bentancur getting the better of O'Shea. Solanke to Johnson. Johnson in early, well read by the goalkeeper. Really good work from Muric. Probably a good 16 yards off of his goal line he gathered that ball.
Yeah, I think Johnson sort of made a mistake. He's wanting to put the early ball in, but to be perfectly honest, it's not really on. The keeper reads it really easily and just takes it out of the air before Son can get involved.
Goal kick from Muric into the opposition half of the field. That's a rarity in this day and age. In the end, it's Sarr who comes away with it up towards Solanke. Solanke's done well, lovely play from Solanke. Then not the right angle on the ball, all the way to actually for Son. The idea was right.
Yeah, he did well, Solanke, and the ball was not bad. It's just overhit a little bit, but the idea was a good one. His control certainly was very good.
Morsey goes back to Muric. Town edging towards the hour mark with a 2-0 lead. Romero wins a header above Delap. Morsey shields it down for Smodix. Smodix gives it away. Bentancur to Son. Son for Tottenham. He's brought down, is he, by Morsey? No, says the referee. Got a good spot as the two captains collided. Here is Kulusevski in the second phase. Wide on the right-hand side. Gives it to Porro. Porro's attempted cross comes off Davis. Appears for handball by the Giant South stand off to my right, but it's only going to be a corner kick. Porro's asking the man with the flag how he didn't spot that alleged handball.
There's no great advantage if it did hit him on the hand. He was outside the penalty area anyway, so just take the corner.
Are they waiting for a decision here? Wait over something. The referee's assistant stood over the ball as if VAR might be having a look at something. Yeah, VAR's looking at a possible penalty, handball against Leif Davis. No, very, very close. Difficult to tell from this angle. It's going to be carry on, I think, by the looks of things. Yeah, no penalty. Corner kick to Tottenham. Ipswich lead this game 2-0. Referee sorting out.
When will officials go back to making their own decisions? I mean, that was outside the penalty area. What on earth are they doing?
Now on the word with Dragerson and Johnson by the looks of things. Just past the hour mark, live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Town hoping to get their first Premier League win of the season this afternoon. They're 2-0 up, pulled back by Porro. This corner kick to Kulusevski, still has it now in the D, gives it to Son, who shoots over the bar. He's appealing that it came off a defender. Hutchinson's down again for Ipswich Town. It's the third time this afternoon. Let's see if that's it for him. The referee's calling on Matt Byard. Not getting a great deal of sympathy. So, how do you rate Town's chances? I haven't seen 16 minutes of the second half, Mick.
Well, I think Tottenham have improved from the first half, but we're showing good discipline. We're sort of, denying them real sort of opportunities to get these goals back. We've just got a very important part of the game. We've just got to be very, very together. Our concentration levels have got to be absolutely sky high. And if you do those things, the opposition will run out of steam. They will slowly but surely just feel that it's not going to be their day, and then there's always the possibility you can hit them on the break, because actually throughout the first half we looked pretty good on the break and capable of scoring after doing a lot of defending. So I'm okay, as long as we show good discipline in the next sort of 10 or 15 minutes.
Town have never won twice in a row at Tottenham. That's a target here this afternoon. Tends to be a result between these two sides. 54th time they've met down the years, and only 8 draws in that period. So far so good for the visitors. We're delighted to report with 17.5 gone in the second half. Kieran McKenna's thoughts to come hopefully before 5 o'clock on match day. We'll try our best to get those of an Ipswich Town player as well, but it's a lot more difficult to do this season. Amari Hutchinson gets a handshake and a pat on the back of his head from his manager. He's going to be all right to
he looks okay.
Carry on, which is good news. No need to call upon the many subs out warming off to our left. 4 from either side, in fact. Punted forward by O'Shea. Out of play for Ray throw. This line of subs for Ipswich Town, for Tottenham, by the corner flag off to the left. Just watching on as Pedro Porro gets ready to take this throw in for Spurs. Town temporarily down to 10 men. Still no sign of a change from the Tottenham bench. I would have expected something around about the hour mark with things as they are. There is Udogie. Tottenham working it down the far side there left, with Son running it. Twanzebe coming in field, giving it back to Udogie. Udogie low into the area. Back will come Smodics, and he clears his lines. Well intercepted. Turns into a good pass for Delap. Delap will run it out to the far side. Goes down between a couple of players and wins a free kick. Nicely done, Liam Delap.
Yeah, that was a threat down the Tottenham left-hand side, but when the balls come in, Smodics has done really well to make sure he's the first one on it. He turns the ball upfield, and then Liam Delap has taken over. He's done his job brilliantly. It's come into his direction, he's collected it, and he's shown terrific strength. He's only got one thing in mind. I'll get goal side of these two guys, and one of them is going to bring me down, and we're going to get a free kick, and all my teammates can now get up into the opposition half. And it's good play. It's very simplistic play, but it's good play.
Morsey with a free kick over on the far side of the pitch, about 7 or 8 yards into Tottenham's half of the field. The captain knocks it forward in towards the edge of the Tottenham area, headed square by O'Shea, bounces over the top of Hutchinson. Hutchinson then turns it back to Morsey. Town looking for a third goal. Morsey crosses in towards O'Shea. O'Shea pops his header up towards the far stick, where Vicario catches it comfortably enough, and he bowls it out to Sarr. Sarr will be held up by Johnson, but he's held onto the ball ever so well. Tries to thread it through. The referee tried to play the advantage. Good refereeing. It's going to be a free kick and a yellow card for Ben Johnson in the end.
Yeah, I thought there were possibilities in the Tottenham box there. You know, the ball from Morsey was good. It was always going to find O'Shea, but he couldn't get enough power on the ball to get it back across goal towards the Town player. And then on the break, that definitely looked as if, for me, it was going to be an illegal challenge.
Sarr is going off, and Timo Werner is coming on. So as you'd expect, that's an attack-minded change from Ange Postecoglou. Just wants to be a little switch. I think Son's going to go into a more central area, and Werner will operate down the left. Little break and play during that because Morsey's been down, but he's okay to carry on. So first change of the afternoon. Sarr off, the more offensively minded Werner on. He's going to get it 25 minutes plus of this game. 65 gone, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Ipswich Town's pink shirts have been very lucky so far for them this afternoon, leading by 2-0. Both goals in the first half, Smodics and Delap. Romero up towards Solanke, well cut out by Kayusti. As you'd expect, getting better with games, the Swede. Romero comes away with the ball, gives it to Son, out to the right-hand side. Kulusevski by the corner flag, holds on to it up against Leif Davis. Kulusevski still has the ball, gets into the box by the byline. In comes his cross, well watched and headed away by Burgess. Kayusti looks to head it against Porro. Porro into the area. Son for Tottenham, shifts it to his left-hand side, gives it to Udogi. Werner just on the field, the German wants the ball and gets it. Loses out to Hutchinson. Hutchinson to Delap. Delap prods it into open ground far side, but out of play.
Yeah, the idea was good. We just seized upon it, and he's trying not to knock the ball in an acre of space there, Liam Delap. He's gone down injured, Liam Delap.
Oh, Ipswich Town played, and the referee's not having it this time, though. Thinks it's gamesmanship. Play continues. Kieran McKenna's going to make a change, though. He's calling somebody back towards the bench, maybe even a couple. Hurst and Jack Clark running. Play continues. Delap's realised he's not going to get a break and play, so might as well get back up, because Tottenham effectively are playing against 10 men when he's on the deck. Werner, right-footed. In comes his cross. Missed by Muric, thankfully. Missed by everyone. And it's out behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether that was the right move by the goalkeeper, but he's got away with it. The cross is low. It's got a little bit of pace on it.
Delap's gone down again in the centre circle. No, it came off Johnson last, so it's very cheeky of him to ask for a corner kick. So yeah, I think we're going to have a couple of changes from the Ipswich Town bench down below us. Clark and Hurst are going to be coming on. Obviously Hurst for Delap. It'll be interesting to see who Jack Clark's going to be replacing. Possibly Hutchinson. Maybe more likely to be Chapman if Hutchinson was a player going off, just because he's had a couple of times he's been on the deck. We shall see. Play continues. Headed by Bentancur, then by Morsey. Touched forward by Porro. Burgess against Solanke. Burgess lifts it up and out on the far side. Actually, it's just underneath us now. Porro with his yellow ball, the replacement yellow ball in his hand. Live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Town leading by 2-0. Their last away win in the Premier League was February 2002, a victory, a 2-1 victory at Everton. 6-2 Peralta and Matt Holland with the goals that day. Porro gets away from Smodics, puts a dangerous ball in, brilliantly headed out behind by O'Shea. Excellent defensive work from the Irishman.
Yeah, he did really well. I think Sam Smodics was a bit loose on his man, and he shouldn't have allowed that to happen, but dangerous cross in, well defended.
Into the final quarter of this game, and Town still have a 2-0 lead. Porro with a corner kick for Tottenham. Free header, 2-1. Bentancur has given Tottenham a lifeline. Well, let's see what develops in the forthcoming 21 minutes of this match. It's now Tottenham 1, Ipswich Town 2.
Yeah, he's completely free, shouldn't have so much space in such a dangerous area, but he's got himself the space. The ball's good, he's found the space, and the header is perfect. He's thumped a good header into the back of the net.
So, wow, 24 minutes gone in the second half when that one bulleted into the net. No clean sheet for Muric and Co this afternoon. Here comes the change. Hurst on for Delap. If those Tottenham defenders think they're going to have an easy afternoon with Hurst coming on in Delap, they might have to think again.
Yeah, they will.
The other change for Ipswich Town is that Smodics is going off to be replaced by Jack Clark, so it's both goal scorers going off. Smodics and Delap on come Hurst, and then Clark is the player coming on. Would be a good player to hold on to the ball for Ipswich Town, Jack Clark. He's got that about him. Get Town down the pitch and into areas and then keep a hold of it. Wow, different atmosphere here now at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Hurst rises, first involvement. Hutchinson on his chest. Can he keep a hold of the ball? Referee says play on. Morsey might have a chance. Morsey, left-footed, tries a reverse pass looking for Hurst. It was blocked off and cleared. Town will get a man down again. It's Hutchinson, I think, in quite a bit of pain. Getting a bit of sympathy from Vicario. He's in a lot of pain, Amari Hutchinson. Play continues. He's now standing up, hobbling. Tottenham with the wind in their sails. Kulusevski on the right-hand side. Back towards Porro. Kulusevski once again. Kulusevski comes in field. Goes back towards Bentancur. The goal scorer for Spurs, Udogie, shifts it to Werner, keen to make an impression and just come on, wants to take on Twanzebe. In comes his low cross, flying, diving header up behind by O'Shea. It was imperative because Johnson was just behind him.
Yeah, he was. I mean, that was a vital interception there. Good ball in, good defending.
Yeah, he's done well, O'Shea. Very, very well. Tottenham have the momentum. Looking for the fourth goal of this game to make it 2-2. Son gets the shot away from the corner kick, pulled back to him by Porro. Off target, goal kick to Muric.
Well, that's the third or fourth harmless sort of shot that Son has had, but I'm a little bit concerned about the corners. We're going in, we're taking up a lot of positions around the goalkeeper, we're sort of filling that area, but we are sort of exposed to anything short, whether it's like that one played out onto the fringe or just short near the corner taker.
Poor front by Romero and equally so by Jack Clark. Tottenham trying to play a 1-2 down this near touchline. Davis gets it back to Muric. Muric just belts it away from Solanke. Could be a fascinating final 18 minutes of this game. Nerve jangling already as Ipswich Town trying to hold on to this 2-1 lead. They had 14 games at the start of the season without a win 15 years ago under Roy Keane. It's the longest ever start of the Premier League season. Lovely crossfield ball to Werner, who's one-on-one with Twanzebe. Werner comes in field and goes for glory. It dips, but not soon enough. Muric's got a touch though. Another corner kick to Tottenham, the 8th of this second half.
Yeah, you could sense they fancied that crossfield ball from this throw-in on the right-hand side. As soon as it was played back to the guy that took the throw-in, he just thumped it towards the left touchline. Twanzebe was too far in, and they caused problems.
It isn't comfortable viewing at the moment. 17 minutes to go. Tottenham with a corner kick at 2-1. Muric and Burgess get in each other's way. Burgess in the end clears it. Actually, it's Hurst who got it away. Quickly taken, thrown by Spurs. The referee's unhappy with the positioning of that throw. Postecoglou looks on questioningly. Through to Tottenham. Porro to take it. And Ipswich Town stands strong. Kulusevski's cross into the middle. Dealt with well enough by Town. Not cleared away fully. Johnson pulls his shot wide. Flag goes up, goal kick Ipswich.
Yeah, we're just sitting back and sitting off a little bit like that throw-in then. When the referee decided he wanted it taken again, it gave us every chance to flood the area around the throw-in to stop them taking what they want to take. And no, we just let the referee decide he's going to make them take it again. We stayed away from it. They take a simple throw-in and get a very dangerous ball into the box. We've got to get used to coming back out of that penalty area.
2-1 live on BBC Radio Suffolk. Tottenham with Werner, infield to Solanke, through the legs of Kiyusti. Solanke then goes square to Kulusevski, to his right-hand side, Porro. All hands on deck for Town coming back. Far post ball from Porro, headed away well by Johnson. Out for a throw into Tottenham on the far side of the field. Throw, which will be taken by Destiny Udogie. live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Town leading still 2-1 at Spurs. Spurs, though, desperately trying to get a goal to make it level, really putting the pressure on Ipswich Town at the back. Nice clearance from Muric, brought down by Werner, but out of play from the former Chelsea player, who's back on loan here for a second spell from RB Leipzig, with an option to extend that into a permanent deal. TV cameras focusing on Kieran McKenna. Johnson, come on you Spurs, is the chant from the home crowd. Pretty silent, the Town fans over there, fearing the worst. Looping ball forward, which Town players have got to deal with. Davis takes charge and nods it back to Muric. Well communicated in the end there.
Yeah, now it's our opportunity to sort of get some possession of the ball. We look as if we're too content on defending the box. You know, we've got to try and get some sort of possession in the opposition half and take this game territorially up the other end.
Good ball from Davis, finding Hutchinson on halfway to the left-hand side. Clark in field to Hutchinson, and a little pocket outside the area, dinks it forward, looking for Hurst inside the box. Vicario's there, but so too Udogie. Didn't believe his keeper was going to get there, so he's done well, the full-back. Udogie in field, given away by Udogie. Hutchinson can't get on it. Here's Kulusevski. We'll hear about goals elsewhere in a moment. Remember, another couple of 2 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Actually, we can now go back to Graham.
Yeah, Man United still 2 up at home to Leicester. Newcastle 2-1 up at Nottingham Forest now. They've come from behind to lead.
Romero out to this right-hand side, and Kulusevski held up by Leif Davis. Romero goes square now towards Dragusin. 13.5 minutes to go in this game. Werner on towards Udogie, who's brought down. Free kick, says the referee. Taken quickly back to the halfway line, and Tottenham can rebuild from there. Romero to Kulusevski. Kulusevski left-footed, knocks the ball forward, should be easily dealt with, headed away by Twanzebe, not very far. Son picks it up for Tottenham. Werner inside the Ipswich area, goes to the byline, into the middle it comes, brought down by Twanzebe, cleared away by him to Morsey. Morsey passes it forward to Hutchinson, well defended by Ipswich Town. Bentancur brings down Hutchinson, that'll do. And then Hutchinson's going to stay down, perhaps, is he?
Yeah, he did well. That's all he can do. Just make sure he either keeps possession or actually gets a free kick, which he did. But the header out of the box for me from Twanzebe was a poor one. We've got to be a little bit more careful. We've got to defend better than that.
Free kick to Ipswich Town on the far side. Hutchinson's back up on his feet. No sign of any more movement from either bench. I'm still amazed that we've not seen James Maddison come on for Tottenham, which I'm glad about. He's a very good player, Maddison. Just come back after injury recently. Scored a peach of a free kick, a real beauty last week for Tottenham against Villa. Long from Muric towards Hurst. Drops down to Hutchinson. Hutchinson edge of the area. Tottenham get it away. Little layoff is by Solanke to Kulusevski. Town have got a man down off to our left-hand side. I think it's George Hurst in a lot of pain, punching the ground. Play continues. Town effectively playing with 10. Hurst still on the deck. Here are Tottenham trying to play it round Ipswich, edge of the area. Solanke comes in field, gets it away from Morsey. Hurst is still down on his back. There is Udogie, not getting any sympathy. Werner, chance to cross it into the Tottenham Ipswich area. Tottenham with Son to the right-hand side, and Porro's cross into the middle should be caught by Muric, and he'll drop down on the ball. Let's see what Town are going to do now in terms of maybe kicking the ball out so Hurst could get some treatment, because he's still on the deck. And the referee has waved on Matt Byard. 34 minutes gone in the second half, and Town are still ahead.
Well, we're creeping towards the finishing line, but it's not sort of convincing at the moment. You know, we are sort of sitting back. I know Tottenham have improved, but we are guilty of sitting back a little bit too much for me, and showing a slight lack of adventure.
Byard having a word with George Hurst. It's a leg rather than a back injury that he's dealing with, the Ipswich Town physio. Hopefully he's going to be all right to continue, Hurst. Town on the bench, we've still got Chaplin, Burns, Harry Clark, Luongo, Townsend, Wolfenden. Just made those 2 changes so far when Hurst and Jack Clark came on. Still this break and play live on BBC Radio Suffolk Sport. Remember the ways to get in touch before 5 o'clock today, before which we'll hopefully hear from Kieran McKenna as well. You can call 0800 141 2121 or text 81333. Start those messages SFK. WhatsApp 08000 321 333. Again, start those SFK. And those are the numbers and contact details for tomorrow night on the Blue Hour as well. You can email me as well to be involved in that programme between 6 and 7. Brenner, BRENNER @bbc.co.uk. We'll be looking back at this game, amongst other things. We should get some reaction from Cheltenham. Ipswich Town women set to win there in the league this afternoon. That was a 2 o'clock kickoff down in the southwest as well. We should hear from somebody from there on the Blue Hour, as well as Formula 1 commentator Alex Jakes and George Burley, both joining me live in that hour between 6 and 7. Going off on the far side is Hurst. Now we've got subs Chaplin, Luongo, Burns and Harry Clark warming up far side. But obviously they're going to give Hurst every opportunity to carry on. We're into the final 10 minutes of normal time here. Of course, at 2-1, nobody will be taking anything for granted right until that final whistle blowing. Newcastle turned it completely around at the City Ground. They're now leading 3-1 at Nottingham Forest. Got themselves on a good little run of results all of a sudden in that League and Cup under Eddie Howe. On this right-hand side, Porro won't get to the ball. Davis gets it first. Nice touch from Davis. Town trying to fight fire with fire, but then he just ran out of ideas and composure. Throw to Tottenham at right back. Porro to take it. They're doing everything at 100 miles an hour. Needs must. Bentancur, who got that goal back for them. Terribly played ball straight to Morsey. Now it's Kulusevski, challenged by Davis. Out goes the ball for a throw to Tottenham, despite the protests from Kieran McKenna. I think Tottenham are going to make more changes. Yves Bissouma being called back to the bench down below us. Former Brighton midfielder. Hurst challenges for the ball in the air. Son. Ipswich with Jack Clark on the ball. Infield to Sam Morsey. Morsey gets it away to Son and Tuanzebe. Tuanzebe asks way too much of Johnson. A bit of rustiness in that pass, bit of tiredness maybe for Tuanzebe. Oh, Bentancur's lost the ball between his feet. Hurst gets onto it for Town. Out to the right-hand side, he gives it to Johnson. In front of him is Hutchinson. Hutchinson trying to get the better of Dragusin. He did. And then Johnson boots the ball against Udogie. Kept from going out for a corner kick very well by Dragusin. It's a throw for Ipswich Town by the corner flag.
Yeah, and this is where we want to just keep the ball in this half of the pitch and just get some possession from this throw-in, you know, because they just take the sting out of Tottenham, and it'll make the game much easier for you.
Maddison is finally coming on for Tottenham. He and Bissouma. Maddison, of course, a former Norwich City player, where he really made his name, having moved there from Coventry. Kayusti with this throw into the Tottenham box, headed away well by a player on the near post. Dara Shea flew towards it. Tuanzebe lifts the ball up. Udogie brings it away from Kayusti. Forward it goes to Werner. This could be threatening. It's 3-on-2 in Tottenham's favour. Back comes Morsey to make it 3 against 3. Werner with a reverse ball to Son inside the area. Son through a gap. Oh, Werner blasted over the bar when he should have done a lot better. What a wasted opportunity, but wow, as far as we're concerned, that was wonderful.
Yeah, it was a good move by Tottenham, but I'd just go back to the throw-in, and I don't think it's necessary Kajus taking a long throw from that position. You know, I just think possession, throw it short, keep possession and keep the ball in the Tottenham half, and then there's no possibility of that type of thing, you know, a counter-attack like Tottenham have just had.
We have 6 and a bit minutes to go. Maddison and Bissouma have come on for Bentancur and Johnson. He did absolutely nothing in this game, Brennan Johnson. Phenomenally quiet for a player who'd been in form. Tottenham with Romero, head the ball to Maddison. Maddison touches it down for Bissouma. Bissouma in a tangle with Jack Clark. Foul by Clark. Bissouma takes the free kick from nowhere near where the foul happened. Free kick to Tottenham, approaching the final 5 minutes of this game. Is this going to be the day for Ipswich Town? Dragusin gives it to Werner. Werner bends a ball forward, looking for Son. Will be dealt with by O'Shea. O'Shea fields it out behind. That'll do nicely. It's a little slope behind that goal off to our right. Just checking that Son Heung-min's okay, which he is. Goal kick to Aramuric.
Yeah, we're creeping towards the end of the game. We've got to make sure we have just got some more possession in the Tottenham half, and that's what we've got to try to do. Get it in there and get control of it and keep it there.
Muric with this big right-footed clearance for Ipswich Town. Glancing header on from Hurst. Dragerson puts it up in the clouds. So Doggy is there. Can't go back to his goalkeeper because Hurst has cut off that route. Turns away from Johnson on the far side. Plays it off Johnson. Comes back off the Doggy. And that's a nicely won throw-in for Ipswich Town.
Yeah, that's better.
Harry Clark might be coming on for Ipswich. Of course, Twanzebi's not played a lot of football of late. Or maybe Johnson on the far side perhaps, but Clark's been spoken to by Martin Pert for sure. 4.5 minutes plus added on time away from a Premier League victory for Ipswich Town. Town have the ball wide right outside the Tottenham box. Morsey gives it towards Twanzebe. Son tries to nick it off of him. Twanzebe goes to Decker. Doggy gets it to Maddison. Maddison slips the ball to Son. Hasn't got too much in the way of support. Son's carrying the ball up against O'Shea. Son still got it. Runs into traffic. No free kick. Well refereed. Town clear the ball away to Hutchinson on the far side. Up against Maddison. Hutchinson fancies taking him on. Gets beyond him once, then holds it up. Amari Hutchinson still has the ball, gets the better of Maddison. Good play this from Hutchinson. Clark wants it square him. Jack Clark gets it. Clark, one touch, then shoots, blocked away by Dragerson. Not enough on that from the former Sunderland player. Now is Basuma, the number 8. A couple of people taking a nibble at him. I didn't think he was going to get the foul, but yeah, the referee's blowing his whistle. Dragerson quickly to Romero. 3.5 minutes to play. Solanke, terrible touch, although it did reach Basuma eventually. Maddison pops it back to Basuma. He measures a pass along the deck to Werner. Seen a fair bit of the ball. Werner taking on Twanzebe. He's got the pace to beat him inside the area. Werner tries to square it. Again, excellent defending from O'Shea, who's been terrific back there.
Well, he must have good pace to do that to Twanzebe. I mean, he really sort of skint him there.
Again, excellent work from Dara O'Shea. Corner kick, which Maddison is going to take for Tottenham in the 88th minute. Town still lead 2-1. Maddison can cause problems here. In it curls the centre. Not on that occasion though. Held on to by the big man in yellow, Aramuric.
Yeah, good take. Poor corner, good take. Keep hold of the ball.
Just want these final seconds and minutes to disappear. Muric needs to be aware that I think that's Solanke behind him, drops the ball. That's actually Christian Romero, the centre half, with furthest forward. Dragerson heads the ball away from the back. One on the halfway line by Morsey. Porro, then Solanke gets there before Clark. Jack Clark challenges, ball goes out of play for a throw. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, when the scoreboard goes up. See how much added on time there's going to be in this game. It's going to be huge for Ipswich Town either way, because if they don't get this victory over the line, the negative impact it could have, and if they do get it, obviously it's going to be a massive shot in the arm to get their first Premier League win of the season. Solanke, not brought down by Jack Clark. Fair challenge. Clark still has the ball, then he gives it in field, only though to Dragerson. The Whites have it back with Porro. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to go. Porro with a cross deep towards the far post. Werner heads it into a central area, nodded away by Burgess. As far as Son, he controls it, taken away from him by Morsey. Knocked into the Ipswich area by Maddison. Muric watches it go all the way through. Goal kick off the floor.
Very poor ball by Maddison. You do expect more from him, but that's good for Town.
Tottenham just desperate to have one more chance. That last one there, I thought that Werner could have maybe taken it on his chest and had a go, but he elected to put a really tame little header into an area. It was highly unlikely to come to anything. Muric wasting his time. Can Ipswich Town get this first win of the season? 91 other sides have won in the Premier League and EFL this season. Town the only ones that haven't. Kayusti with a high up and under from the halfway line. Massimo Luongo coming on at his former club in a moment. Mari Hutchinson takes the ball down the right-hand side of the Tottenham area. The doggy brings it away from him. Flag goes up, much to the delight of those travelling supporters. It's a free kick for Ipswich. You've got Jens Kayusti down in the central area. Hutchinson being picked up by Hurst.
I was going to say, when the referee didn't give it, I thought, what on earth is he doing? So this is a good position. You could do what you like from here.
8 minutes of added on time. Goodness me. Didn't want to see that at all. Be able to sit a bit more comfortably if Town can score a goal from this set piece wide outside the Tottenham area. Clark.
Nobody's gone in the box, so it's not going to be a cross.
Clark plays the free kick short to Hutchinson. Town wasting time on the far side, holding on to the ball well. Jack Clark still has it, and he loses it. One back though by O'Shea with a bit of help from Morsey. So 7.5 minutes to go in this game. Burgess hangs the ball out to the right hand side. It's a good one. Hutchinson controls it. It's in the left back area outside the Tottenham box. Overlapping towards that corner flag is Johnson. He plays it back to Hutchinson. Town trying to waste a bit of time. Ball out of play for an Ipswich Town throw in. Good to see Luongo is coming on for Kayusti. Getting a hug from Davis. He's played well, Kayusti.
Yeah, he's done a good job.
Yeah, hasn't he? Clearly now tiring. So Luongo plays against Tottenham in the Premier League. Special afternoon for him. Hopefully we can see a big victory over the line for Ipswich Town. On he comes. Just have to dig in and hold on to the ball whenever he can and find a pink shirt. It's the basic instruction. Throw in for Ipswich outside the Tottenham area. 90 seconds into the added on 8 minutes. Well, we've probably got more than 6.5 minutes to play because we haven't seen a lot of action since the 8 started. Tottenham with a free kick. Referee unhappy with the placement of it, alerted to by thousands of Town fans. Bissouma has the ball inside the Tottenham penalty area. That'll do. He rolls it to the right, and Porro forward down the line. Kulusevski's challenged by Davis. He's gone down. What's the referee doing here? I think he wants a word with the Ipswich Town left back, and a yellow card for Leif Davis, only his second of the season. Kulusevski's off the field underneath us. Clearly not going to be wasting time. He wants to get up and on the go, so it's clearly a legitimate problem. I think that Will Lancashire could be coming on for Tottenham, the striker, the youngster that scored against Galatasaray, his first professional goal on Thursday night. Kulusevski, maybe some sort of shoulder problem. He's been lifted back up. Tiny little strip of grass alongside that runs parallel with the touchline on this near side, but beyond that it's a hard surface that he fell on. Kieran McKenna's thoughts to come before 5 o'clock on match day with a bit of luck. Will he be talking about his first Premier League victory? 2-1 his side lead on BBC Radio Suffolk. Porro held up by Clark. 3 minutes into the added on 8. Kulusevski infield for Tottenham, gets away from Davis. Attempted pass forward, blocked off by Morsey. Morsey to Hutchinson. Hutchinson runs up to halfway with the ball. He's still got it. Might fancy taking it on. Hutchinson still has it. Thought about the shot. Gives it to Hurst. Hurst inside the area. Chance to finish it. Hurst goes beyond the final man. Then the back heel to Hutchinson, who feigned to shoot. In the end, has just held on to it. Good work this from Amari Hutchinson. He goes down. Free kick. Excellent from Hutchinson. Really good play.
Good play by the pair of them. You know, they both could have had a sort of crack at goal, but, you know, they probably wouldn't have scored. So, you know, keep possession. They've won a free kick. It's time ticking away.
Jack Clark with this free kick, which he's certainly not going to put into the centre because there's no one there. Town are going to work it in short 5 or 6 yard passes. Not even that between various players. One of them twinkle toes Hutchinson. It's a little shimmy and then prods it through a gap to Hurst. Town get it back to Burgess on halfway at the midway point of the added on 8 minutes. Burgess ball forward is loose, giving it back to Tottenham at right back, and Porro hacks it to the halfway line. Tottenham fans have given up on this one. Vicario inside his penalty area for Tottenham. Time is ticking away for them. Time seems to be moving very slowly from an Ipswich Town perspective at the moment. Maddison with the ball inside his own half, that'll do. We don't want him off to the right-hand side. He gives it to Werner. Back it goes to Maddison. Such great discipline from Ipswich Town. Jack Clark closes down Porro to the right. Kulusevski back to Porro. Porro into a central area, falling. Oh, losing the ball. A chance here for Solanke. The angle isn't good. Blocked off by the goalkeeper. Excellent save from Muric. Town were unfortunate there. There was a bit of a slip at the start of that move. Solanke had a chance to make the most of the opportunity, but didn't. And well done, Aaron Muric again.
Well, there was a definite chance. We've got away with it.
Yeah, came off the leg of Muric. 5 minutes into the added-on 8. Yep, off his right knee effectively when he went bent down, making himself big. The angle was acute for Solanke. For a second I thought a Town player might have overstretched and clipped Solanke inside the area. Free kick to Town at left back. Muric is going to be taking it. We're into the 96th minute of this game. Long downfield from Muric. Dragerson with a header. Johnson with a challenge. Jack Clark with a header forward for Town. Then Romero of Tottenham. Up goes Luongo. Nudged off the ball by Werner. Surely free kick given by the referee.
Take your time now.
We're edging towards the final 2 minutes of the added on 8. Tottenham 1, Ipswich Town 2. Burgess and Davis, two League One stalwarts over this free kick for Town. It's Burgess who hits it across field, headed down by Udogie to Dragerson on the edge of his area. Deep inside his own half is Maddison. Maddison to Bissouma. On the right side is Kulusevski. Town again doing ever so well to get back. They've expended so much energy in this game. Through from Porro to Bissouma. 7 minutes of the added on 8 are almost up. Probably play beyond the 8 though. Maddison to Werner. Werner back towards Bissouma. To the right hand side, Kulusevski gives it to Porro. Porro comes in field, wants to get away from Davis. Easier said than done. Davis brings away a free kick given against him though. Kieran McKenna so furious, so too Chaplin and Harry Clark, a couple of the subs. Referee. It's a free kick to Tottenham, around about 30 yards from the Ipswich Town goal line, right of centre. He's not going for goal, Porro. He needs a teammate to help him out in the middle to get the most dramatic of equalisers. We're in the 98th minute of this Premier League game. Pedro Porro of Tottenham Hotspur. Town seconds away from a victory. Into the centre it comes, headed away by Davis. Not good enough. We can breathe again. The 98 minutes have just about been played. Werner on the left-hand side, in comes his cross, should be Muric's and is, and he'll drop on the ball. The referee checks his watch. No sign of the whistle just yet. Sam Morsey's looking at the referee. Everyone in pink down there, all those thousands of fans from Suffolk desperate for the full-time whistle to go. Tottenham have the ball on halfway with Udogie. Town are seconds away from a Premier League win. Bissouma. Tottenham trying to fashion one more heartbreaking opportunity. Kulusevski puts it in, headed away by Burgess. Brilliant, out as far as Kulusevski. Still no full-time whistle. Here is Porro. Chance for him to deliver into the middle. Porro's cross. Up and away by O'Shea, who's been monumental at the back for Ipswich Town. Tottenham can't get forward. Davis goes down. Son gets on the ball, plays it off of Davis, doesn't go out for a corner kick. Davis clears his lines towards Hurst. Hurst with a flick on header, and that's it. Ipswich Town win in the Premier League. Kieran McKenna embraced by all of his coaching staff. What a poignant moment for him back at Tottenham Hotspur. He gets his first 3 points as a Premier League manager. At the 11th time of asking, Ipswich Town have won in the top flight by 2 goals to 1. They've beaten Tottenham Hotspur and thoroughly deserve it.
Yeah, what a victory. You know, we've been very patient. We've been very unlucky that we haven't got a win before today. But it was all about the first half for me. Absolutely top class. We did so many good things in that first half. We looked much better than Tottenham. Tottenham looked a poor outfit. They improved in the second half. We were guilty of maybe sitting back a little bit, having the game coming towards us. But we've won a vital game here. Really, absolutely vital. This pushes us up closer to a lot of teams. Somebody is laying down
Just
there.
have to say that the stretcher has come on for George Hurst. It's really worrying at the moment. He was collided with by a Tottenham player right at the end of that game. The doctor is on holding his head still. There's other medical staff on there as well. Sadly, he's missing out on the celebrations, but hopefully it's nothing too bad for Hurst. Just doing his bit aerially, trying to flick the ball on. He got collided with, and sadly he's on his back at the moment, taking no part in the celebrations.
Yeah, great win. Absolutely great win. You know, probably one I didn't expect. A lot of people didn't really expect it to come today. We were sort of wondering when it would come, but great preparation for this game. You know, the manager's done the homework nicely. He's picked the right team, he's picked the right tactics, he's changed those tactics when we got a goal in front and made another good decision as far as that's concerned. We've 2 good goal scorers in our team. They proved that before today. Delap and Schmodix. They've got ourselves a goal apiece. A fine performance in the first half. It really was. You know, one that all these Tottenham supporters would not have expected to have seen. And we deserve it. We really do.
Lovely scenes as Kieran McKenna just goes across, punching the air with both fists towards the Ipswich Town fans over in the far corner of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The players as well are across there with them. The thousands obviously in party mood now, having seen their side win in the Premier League for the first time in 22 and a half years. Just to have a little look at George Hurst. He is now sitting up. That's far more important than any of this, it has to be said. He's sitting up. I think he's going to get a bit of strapping on his forehead. I'm not sure if the stretcher is going to be required for him. As Harry Clark didn't see any minutes today, kind of leads the celebrations over in the far corner of the field, and hopefully this can be a springboard. This will make a big difference, won't it, in terms of confidence and belief. Now they've finally got this first win, and it's something that none of us are talking about anymore, Mick.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is it's everybody's conversation about, you know, will Ipswich get a victory? You know, because it's gone on for such a long time, and it's gone now. We've got one. We've got 3 nice points in the bag. We really have. You know, this will take us right up. It was disappointing last week when we didn't manage to bridge that gap with Leicester. That was taken away from us harshly. But today we've got ourselves back close to where Leicester are. So we've got to keep all those teams. You know, we don't want it to be 3 from 4. We want it to be 3 from maybe 7 or 8 teams, you know, at this stage of the season. And, you know, it'll give us a lot of confidence. We've now got a little bit of a break. And then we can prepare for what will be a massive game of football. Home game against Manchester United is big enough. You know, we've been starved of that type of football match, and with it being the manager's first game, there's going to be tremendous interest from the outside people, and it's one that the players will absolutely relish. And with this victory going into that game, anything can seriously happen with that fixture. So this is perfectly timed. It really is.
George Hurst up on his feet, walking around smiling, and finally been able to join in the celebration, so that's really good to see. So cue the pretty and pink headlines, no doubt. Ipswich Town have done the business down here at Tottenham on Kieran McKenna's return. Just seen a picture of him. Lovely to see him smiling on the screen in front of us. They've beaten Spurs by 2 goals to 1.